My boyfriend is policing my eating habits, and I'm tired of it.
What? That's not cool.
For the record, I am a small-framed, visibly muscular 5'4" woman whose weight fluctuates anywhere between 128 and 135. My boyfriend has always teased and encouraged me to eat more, but it's always been playful before. I used to tease him about his mammoth-sized portions. Seriously, where does it go? Because I had to start making date night dinners that should serve 4. By the way, this comes from user CCBoyF, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, to be clear, he constantly underestimates his calories and is often shocked when I'm reading nutritional information. I don't know where he got the idea he's knowledgeable enough to be judging what I'm eating, but there you go. Lately, he's become very fixated on this idea I'm going to start starving myself without his guidance. I don't have a big sweet tooth. I don't snack on the regular. I really only eat about half of my restaurant entrees when we order. We usually split appetizers. I'm a lightweight. I prefer a light lunch. These are all things he's starting to criticize on the regular. I want y'all to understand I'm really not depriving myself. I don't go hungry. I just don't enjoy stuffing myself. He doesn't listen when I tell him. He's constantly ruining my appetite by forcing snacks upon me. Yesterday, we woke up late, and I knew we were going out to lunch, so I only had 1 slice of thick brioche French bread, powdered sugar, syrup, butter, half a peach, and 2 slices of summer sausage. He had 5 slices of French toast with all the toppings, whipped cream, 1.5 peach cans, and the rest of the summer sausage, and an egg. I ended up eating a 3rd slice of his summer sausage, dipped in his egg to get him to stop nagging me. He made another 2 comments about how little I ate before lunch. Then at lunch, he had new fights to pick. He didn't want me to order plain iced tea or a diet soda. I don't like overly sweet drinks. He didn't want me to order an entree salad, ranch, bacon, avocado, egg, blah, blah, blah. We negotiated my lunch to a breadstick, a side salad, plus avocado, 2 slices of pizza that he nagged me to finish until his dad told him to lay off because he didn't want me too full for gelato later. The whole meal was pretty embarrassing for me. Of course, my boyfriend wasn't happy that I wanted a small gelato cup instead of a cone. I don't have a sweet tooth, remember? We knew we were going to go have a late dinner, so we stopped at a gas station later that evening to get him a snack. I just wanted water but picked up a small package of corn nuts in the hopes of making him happy. And we still had a minor spat, so I picked out some candy too. He didn't notice he was the one to end up eating it. He claimed we disagreed because I was irritable from hunger. We picked up dinner at a buffet-style place that charges you by weight for to-go containers. He decided I had to use a medium container instead of a small. Admittedly, I just filled the difference with varieties of salad, but I also had a very rich mac and cheese and some fried foods in my containers as well. He was bothered by the small portions I was serving myself, but I was taking many more varieties than him, like a sample platter. My container was full. This is where we had our first real fight about my eating habits. He decided to make a 3rd container of food to make sure I ate enough when we got home. The restaurant we were at was not cheap. I refused to back down on not blowing a bunch of money on food that we just end up picking at and throwing away. A lot of the things he picked are foods I don't like when they're reheated. We've been working hard on being more frugal together lately, so I was pretty pissed when he ignored me and paid for the extra food. In the car ride on the way home, the argument continued until it got to the point where he was very frustrated and teared up as he shouted, "I work so hard to take care of you, and you're always fighting me to hurt yourself?" He then proceeded to give me a long, condescending guilt trip. I was pretty enraged, to be honest. Once we were home, dinner went cold while we Google fought over how calories, protein, sugar, and my BMI work. You name it. No matter what I showed him, he wouldn't back down on not feeling like I don't eat enough because muscle weighs more than fat, so you're actually underweight and hiding it by lifting weights. Are you the dumbest person on earth? This is like the argument of like, what's heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of nails?
Yeah.
And someone goes, the nails, because a nail's heavier than a feather.
Right.
No, but it's 1 pound of feathers and 1 pound of nails.
Like, I don't even understand what he's trying to say. So he's saying, no, it's all just muscle weight.
Well,
it should be fat weight.
To
he's
be
saying that it
clear,
should be fat that
you can actually get to a point where if you lose so much body fat and you have just muscle, that it can be a detriment to your health. However, OP has expressed that they are perfectly healthy.
Yeah. Really doubt that like she is just at a point where she has like 1% body fat or something like that. Like I just, that's so hard to get to. And like with I feel like she would already have to be on like a strict eating diet if that was the case, you know? So it's like, yeah, he's just,
and it's like,
so stupid.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that. So I went home. He texted me 12 times because I left the cold dinner at his place. I was ignoring him while I made food, but finally caved and told him I was eating something else. He asked me to text him a picture of my food. I never responded, and he texted me another 3 times. This morning, he texted to ask if he could bring me breakfast. I said no. I'm kind of bewildered and annoyed. I'm not really sure how we can resolve this one. Relevant comments here from Dynamite77. He claimed we disagreed because I was irritable from hunger. This is really controlling behavior. Is there any space in his brain for you to be right about your eating habits? Does he do this with other things in your life as well? OP replies, yeah, it was about as enraging as when guys try to say being on my period is why I'm upset. He's normally very laid back, but we've only known each other for 8 months. MM172 says, does your boyfriend have some kind of feeding fatouche? Or is this reverse psychology in an effort to get you to develop an ED because your weight is almost exactly in the middle of healthy range for your height, and it sounds like you're perfectly capable of picking out balanced meals for yourself? There's zero justification for counting every calorie or measuring portion size the way he's trying to do. If you want to try and placate him, tell him you'll make an appointment with your doctor and discuss healthy eating while you're there. Until then, you don't want to hear about another word about meal choices, and if you're given the all clear, this discussion is done. But personally, I think I just bail. His obsession with this is just too weird. OP says, I'm not sure. Says he likes my body the way it is, but thinks I'd be skinnier if he wasn't around to nag me. I'm pretty happy with the way I look right now. To be honest, the thought of having to take him to professionals to get him to listen to me isn't very appealing. So Sarah 8 says, put your stats in a calorie calculator. Don't do any of this. For God's sakes, break up with him. What are we talking about?
Crash out. OP, we're crashing out on your behalf. Please, for us.
So, OP replies to this comment. I downloaded a calorie counter app last night and entered what I would have eaten yesterday without his influence, and it came in well over my daily requirements, but that developed into him picking apart how calories and the BMI system works. I know this is absurd behavior, but he doesn't seem to have a malicious intent, so I'm more puzzled than angry right now.
That, and also, go see a doctor, go see someone that is actually medically licensed in this area and prove them wrong, or like actually get the stats and be like, hey, this is what this guy said to do. Because, I mean, literally, this guy probably got all of his information from YouTube videos and just watching YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Like
watching podcasts.
Yeah, about the male physique and how much you should be taking it as a male, not like as for females.
No, I'm not giving him an out. There's no out. Your partner has repeatedly told you, stop it. And you can't. So you're a goofy for that. And I'm leaving you. Because you are incapable of respecting me.
I think it would be the kind of thing, like, if he was watching these podcasts or whatever, it's like, that just explains it, but it definitely doesn't excuse it.
Yeah, you're still a horrifically terrible partner.
Don't need to go into any more effort to, into this man at all.
No, it's over. It's over. Okay, I'm just going to the update. 40 days later. In case anyone's wondering, it turns out my now ex's mother and 2 sisters had him convinced I had some kind of eating disorder and would nag at him about it and make him feel like crap for letting me hurt myself. So all 3 of them are obese. So I don't know why he weighed their opinion on nutrition so heavily. I pointed that out with a little more tact. And we had a much better conversation about why he needed to lay off on how I eat. He did make a lot of effort to keep his opinions to himself, but could never completely let his worry go. And by the way, you don't have to let us go, because you can go listen to full episodes of stories just like this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, really wherever you listen to podcasts. All you have to do is search OK Storytime, and you can listen to the whole archive. There's a lot. We have a little bit more story left. Mm-hmm. I still think break up, because, again, it's just more of that fundamental of like a partner who is unable to accept you for who you are and is also unable to follow boundaries of like, stop telling me to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Trying to parent me.
Right.
Infantilize me.
Goo goo gaga, I can make my own decisions. I don't need my mom and sister to tell me how to think. So, officially, this isn't why we broke up, but it was kind of like the shattering illusion from How I Met Your Mother that kind of made me start noticing how he's quick to be arrogant, condescending, and patronizing when he thinks he's right, and how he buys into every dumb thing his family tells him without question. Stuff like that. And there are some relevant comments here. I am not explaining a How I Met Your Mother reference. That's the end of that story.
You don't need that. My boyfriend grew up in a disgusting household, and I can't take it anymore.
Then don't leave.
My boyfriend, 29 male, and I, 28 female, have been together going on 8 years now. We met while I was in college and have been inseparable since. The first time my boyfriend picked me up to go on our first date, his car was so dirty, there was trash and God knows what on the floor, and I did not even want to put my feet down. The first time he invited me over to his parents' house, I almost threw up. The smell, the dirt, old clothes, trash, dishes everywhere, horrible bathrooms, stains in the toilet and on the seat, and they rarely ever have paper towels, let alone tissues. By the way, this comes from Purple Dynamite 7670, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, but still, I somehow managed to stay and came over more times after that. I was never comfortable. I always hated being there. But I never had the heart to say anything until shortly before we got our own place. On top of this, they had roaches, bad too. It was horrible, but again, I loved him so much and I was scared to ever bring it up to him. But my thought was always, how is he okay living with this? His parents are great. I adore his mom. His dad can be embarrassing and loud at times, but we all still get along fine. I say to that, I don't believe the issue has to do with the depression or anything like that. I just think they're hoarders.
Which is like, it's still a mental health crisis. Like, people don't live that way
Because everything's
because
like,
everything's kosher.
Something is
something's
afoot.
wrong.
Going on. Yeah. It sucks because his mom tries, and I know she probably just got tired of cleaning up after grown men all their lives, so she stopped cleaning. His parents have a huge pool and nice backyard, but it is still junky. Things everywhere, just like in the house. They have a bunch of people over, and I'm always so shocked. I'm embarrassed to ever invite my parents over. My mom would have a heart attack and probably judge me for not ever saying anything. We have always been taught to keep a clean house to avoid bugs and always cleaned up before having guests. I'm talking the house would be spotless, so I imagine my surprise when I first saw how he and his family lived. We've been together for 7 years, and our parents have never met each other. Part of the reason for me is because I know my parents would not approve of how they live and would probably look down on me for putting up with this, especially since they always taught us to be so clean and tidy. My parents always bring up the fact that they haven't met their parents yet, much more lately than normal since we were reaching 8 years and not even engaged, but I always agree and laugh it off. Never set any plans in motion because in the back of my mind, all I can think about is how different his family is from mine. We recently moved in together in October 2024, and things have been good. I know how he and his parents lived before, and I still ignored all the red flags because I love him so much and hoped it was only his parents with the problem and not him. Yeah, right. He made small efforts to clean his room at his parents', but nothing ever stuck. I even swept and cleaned his room one time shortly after we had been together, and it went right back to normal, so I have no clue why I thought things would be different just because he was no longer living with them. In our apartment, he does make efforts to clean, but he lacks severely when it comes to cleaning up after himself. He will make a sandwich and leave all types of crumbs and jelly on the counter and toaster, put dishes in the sink instead of the dishwasher, leave hair and dirt stains on the toilet seat, and never cleans the bathroom. It's so frustrating because he will literally ask me what needs to be done instead of being able to see that there is mess that needs to be cleaned. It's like dealing with a toddler, and I don't even have kids. Whenever I say anything to him, I automatically feel like I'm nagging him or hurting his feelings. He's very receptive when I say things and will do it, but my problem is it never really sticks. Fast forward to this weekend, he worked for a few hours and came home to use the bathroom and take a shower. I'm relaxing on the couch, and shortly after he finishes, I decide to go use the bathroom. To my shock and surprise, there are stains on the toilet seat, poop still floating in the toilet, and when I lifted the seat, there was a string of poo juice running down the toilet. And
What?
This is so graphic. It went
Juice?
on the floor.
I could not stay in this relationship.
Yeah, man.
I couldn't stay in this relationship.
That's hard.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
I could not.
Because that's different than being like messy.
That
dude.
is dirty.
It's dirty.
Dirty is
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, you can't be in a relationship with someone who doesn't know how to look after themselves.
Yeah, it's hard, dude.
Ugh.
That was my last straw. I immediately came out of the bathroom and told him that he needed to clean it, and he responded, okay, in a low, sad tone.
He said,
okay.
okay.
My blood was boiling because I still felt bad, and this was not the first time that something like this has happened, and I'm always cleaning up his messes and hate myself for not saying anything because to him, he had no idea, and that was totally my fault for always keeping things to myself instead of holding him accountable. He cleaned the toilet but didn't do a good job, and I still had to go after him and clean the bottom of the toilet and floor, which I notice I always have to do when asking him to do some type of cleaning. I have been so patient in trying to wait for him to pick up on these things. I'm pretty much a neat freak. I work from home majority of the week, so I'm always wiping down counters after I cook, do the dishes as I go, clean the bathroom twice a week, mop, sweep, etc., and clean up before bed, and he will sometimes help if he sees me doing it or if I ask him to help, which sucks. Why do I have to tell you something needs to be done in order for you to see that it is dirty? After he finished cleaning and me going in to clean again after him, I just got in the shower and started reflecting on our entire relationship. So I decided I would speak to him about it, and it went exactly how I imagined it would. I told him the bathroom situation was not okay and how I don't understand how he doesn't see when things need to be cleaned. I told him I feel like a maid more often than not since living together, and that he needs to be mindful he is no longer living with his parents and that he is living with someone else. Yeah, I did forget that they were living together because at first
he moved out. He moved out to live with her, and this is what she's having to deal with, like picking up after him.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Right, because at first I was thinking like, yeah, that's the problem because if you ever do live together, and they do live together.
They live together.
Yeah, because he is like getting trained that things will be fine. Like he's
you'll clean up after him,
right? And
or you'll tell him what to do.
Yeah, like if he's okay with living in this mess, then he probably thinks like, oh, well, I mean, she can clean if she wants to because I don't have a problem with it. So like, I'm not really, you know what I mean? He apologized, said he understood, and said that he would try harder. He did acknowledge that we grew up differently and that it would take him some time to get out of some habits, which I appreciated, but still sucks to hear, and his entire mood shifted. He was talking low, being short with me, and I can tell I hurt his feelings, which is why I always avoid having conversations like this because I know that it will make him feel bad, and then we just enter a quiet, awkward roommate phase of pleasantries, and that's pretty much the vibe that it's been between us since this weekend, us being quiet and polite as we go about our daily activities.
Breakup.
Yeah.
That's not the best way to communicate in a relationship, guys.
No, it's not.
We shouldn't just ignore problems until we can talk again. Like,
yeah, bad stuff. Bad stuff.
No.
Stop
Yikes, dude.
Stop it.
Yikes.
Breakup.
I don't want him to feel like he has to walk on eggshells every time he does something in the apartment and thinking it has to be cleaned up immediately or I will get upset. I just want him to be mindful when he does things and clean up any messes he makes. I just don't know how I win in this situation. To top things off, this morning as I was getting ready to leave for work, I noticed he made a PB&J because there were crumbs and jelly on the counter. Not even 48 hours after we spoke, so I texted him about it because after we had our talk, he told me he wants me to let him know when he does things around the house, and he promises that I won't be nagging him. So I did just that. I texted him and told him, and he came back and said that he's sorry and that he promises that he is trying. I believe he is. I just hate that as women, we have to be overly patient with men as we wait for them to grow up and get their lives together.
You don't.
Yeah, you don't gotta do that.
You don't.
You choose it who you want to be patient with.
Yeah.
I do get the pressure, but yeah. Yeah, Amy Lynn says, okay, that is a bigger problem. If he can't handle hearing that he made a mistake without making OP feel guilty, then he's not ready for this level of commitment. Yeah.
Nope.
Honestly. Because this is obviously like a big issue, but what if there's even bigger problems that come up and
he's
she
not ready
doesn't
for a relationship?
Yeah, like you have to be open to constructive criticism when
time.
You're dealing with
He's a
other
child.
people's emotions.
He's a child.
Yeah, I also feel like if I do get to the point where I want to leave him, that also sucks because now the next woman will have the perfect partner. He is literally great to me besides his cleanliness. So loving, kind, and thoughtful, and he makes me happy. We have the same likes and dislikes and have a lot of fun together. I love him so much, if you can't tell by the things I've put up with, and we've discussed getting married and kids, but it's getting to the point where I'm not sure if he will really ever change, even if he says he will, and I can't help but think to the future. How am I possibly going to be comfortable having kids with him knowing his parents will want to see and spend time with our kids at their home? I literally get sick thinking about my future kids crawling on those floors, using the bathroom, putting stuff in their mouths, and playing with the roaches. I just don't know if I can do this anymore. It's really been taking a toll on me. Yeah, honestly.
Don't do it anymore.
With all that dirty stuff, it's like that is a health issue.
It's a health issue. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't be around that.
And the kids are already so messy, so it's like you have to, please, as someone has grown up in a cluttered household, please don't be cluttered for your kids. Teach them how to clean.
Yeah.
It's hard, you guys.
Teach your kids how to clean.
So it's like if you're like that's something that you would want to look for in a
Yes.
partner when raising kids.
especially because OP called herself a neat freak or
Exactly.
clean freak.
Yeah, it's like that's something that
You can't be living
a
with this
bit
guy.
Difficult. Yeah.
So how hot is this guy then?
yeah.
To look past this
Yeah, come
much
on.
mess?
Come on.
Yeah, dude.
It's gotta be like
Ugh.
he like shines out in the middle of it like a Prince Charming. Like
Yeah. And it honestly
Aw.
does like show more about their poor communication if she's just been dealing with this the whole 8 years that they've been together. So, ugh. How am I to deny our kids from spending their time with their grandparents? And I know it is too late for them to change at this point just because of how I'm feeling. So I'm just feeling stuck. I'm such a nice person and I hate it. I hate confrontation. I have a hard time speaking up for myself and I can just see an unhappy, miserable future for myself. With postpartum depression guaranteed. Please, please, I need some advice on how I should move forward with this relationship. I have been trying hard not to show it, but I know he can tell something's off with me, and I know his feelings are still hurt, but I just don't know how to talk to him about all of this. Our lease ends in October of this year. It will be August in 3 days, and we've been talking about and scheduling appointments to tour the new apartment buildings once our lease is up. But after the incident with the toilet, I've been slapped back into reality of our relationship and I don't know what to do. Help. There is an edit I mentioned after the conversation we had on Sunday, and it's now Tuesday morning, that things have been super awkward, quiet, and polite between us. I went out with my family on Sunday, and before I left, I cleaned the shower and wiped the sink in the bathroom. I was leaving the floor and toilet for him to clean since we were going back to deep cleaning on Sundays. I ran out to the dollar store to pick up a few things before I left. Honestly, just feeling tired and exhausted from the conversation we had, thinking about the last 7 years, reading all the harsh truths in the comments and advice, and especially due to his reaction since his feelings were hurt. I came back home and he was in the middle of cleaning the entire apartment. Oh, whoa. Okay.
Dang. Okay.
That's a big turnaround.
Well, it feels like not a turnaround and more of just like, oh, maybe if I do this, she won't leave me.
Yeah, I mean, it's one
Yeah,
day, so it's definitely
yeah.
not like habits
Yeah.
that he's forming, but I mean.
7 weeks.
Yeah. That's
7
how long
weeks
it
is
takes
the
to
minimum
develop
amount
that.
of time it takes to form a habit.
Yeah. So
Or break
We'll
one.
see.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a positive.
Something.
It's a positive. And I mean cleaning it how I would clean it. In my head, I said there's hope, but I also feel like, wow, so you were able to clean like I cleaned this whole time.
Yeah.
You just needed me to say something.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think
Mhm,
about that.
mhm, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. He swept, mopped, wiped down, and put away our eating trays. Oh my gosh. Unloaded the dishwasher, wiped the counters, washed his clothes, and even wiped the windowsills where we keep our plants. I was shocked and relieved. I thanked him, of course, and told him that I didn't expect him to do it at all on his own. He told me I want to do it. I just don't want you feeling like a maid anymore, so I'm okay to do everything for now. This was all I wanted, and part of me feels like a monster for coming on Reddit and airing out his business when this was all I wanted. I hate that it took the toilet incident for this to be the result, but hey. Fast forward to last night, which is Monday now. I got home early from work and got on the treadmill in our building to clear my mind before going back upstairs. He got home maybe 15 minutes after I did, and if I'm being honest, I was avoiding him a little, so I took longer. I know he was still sad and the awkward silence and excuse me's as we walked past each other in the apartment while trying to go about our daily routine was something I just didn't have the energy for after a long day at work. I came home, noticed he was sitting on the couch folding his clothes. We did our pleasantries and I got in the shower. As I was in the shower, I had a mini cry session just thinking about all of it and how I really feel about our relationship, and it sucks because I still love him so much that it hurts and I see he is trying. But I also still feel like I'm not as happy as I should be, especially now after Saturday. When I got out of the shower, I took a little longer to do my aftercare routine because I knew that he would be able to tell that I had been crying in the shower. I came out after about 10 minutes and said hi to him, and he immediately said, "So I've been thinking more about our conversation, and I'm sorry." He then went on to say that he is sorry that I made him feel like a maid, and that he was sorry that I felt like I couldn't talk to him about these things. He also brought up a conversation that we had 4 years ago when I indeed tried to break up with him because of his cleanliness, and ended up staying with him after he apologized and we had a heart-to-heart. Okay, so that's interesting. So they did have a conversation with this a few years ago.
Yeah, but nothing changed until like now?
I guess not. I mean, he apologized before, and I guess that was enough to keep her in the relationship, but
Guess so.
I'm a little worried that that means that that's gonna happen now. And
Yeah,
he's
that's
gonna
not like I
hope.
feel like he's just gonna revert back.
Yeah, exactly. After that convo, he asked me to always let him know when something is bothering me, no matter what, if it hurts his feelings or not. I will admit I'm in the wrong because I did tell him I would work on doing that, and I can admit I have not done that. So that's on me.
Yeah, the people pleaser in you.
Yeah, they don't seem to have very good communication in this story. She always like kept it in and just kind of cleaned.
Let it fester.
Yeah. After he apologizes, he also adds that he wants me to give him some time to make all of these things a habit, and he admitted that this was his first time living alone after his parents, and he thanked me for having patience with him. After this, he started remembering a very few small things that I do that annoy him. I did ask him when we had the conversation on Saturday so that I could be mindful and didn't want him thinking that I was just picking on him when I told him I felt like a maid because of all the things I do to clean up after him. So yesterday, he brings up that sometimes, maybe twice, left the toothpaste in the sink. Understandable and an accident, but I agreed to be mindful. He says that I will sometimes tell him that I will do something like wipe out the dryer, put a load of clothes, and don't get to it when I say. In my head, I was thinking yes, probably, because I got sidetracked and started to clean up one of his messes, but I didn't say this out loud.
I see what's happening now.
Yeah.
We have the boyfriend that has a huge problem,
Mm-hmm.
and he feels very called out for having this huge problem. And the girlfriend has small little problems, but to keep it even, he's playing score because he keeps bringing up stuff from the past, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that these problems are cleanliness problems too. So he's probably thinking like, well, why are you saying this about me when you're doing all this? Even though it's different levels.
Because I think there's a difference between being human and forgetting a few things versus living disorderly.
Yeah,
I
exactly. Like
Ev-
choosing to live like that.
I've learned that I do not like a messy room. How it was pretty rough being with me in my room today, wasn't it?
Well, you're moving.
I know, but like
So I understood.
I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not having a good time.
Yeah, which is honestly a kind of good example because it's like it affects your mental health, your living space.
Oh
like,
yeah.
even though it might be comfortable because you're used to that, like it overall and very subconsciously, if you have a clear space, you will just feel so much better. Even if you're not in that space. Like even if
Yeah.
just the backyard was clean and you just saw it through the kitchen. Like
I
that
think
would feel better.
a clean room reflects the state of your mind.
For sure. All in all, the conversation went well. He apologized for being quiet the past few days and that he was just sad and processing everything that I said to him. He said he loves me very much and he hugged and kissed me afterwards. I couldn't help but think about the toilet again, but I am willing to give him until the end of our lease to make a 180. If he doesn't, then I'll know what I need to do. I have a bunch of money saved up and will start to look into a studio apartment as a backup option in case things don't work out.
Ooh.
And by the way, in case you didn't know, we've got more full episodes of stories just like this one on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. There is a little bit more into the story, but I think it's nice to like give him a little bit of grace here. He learned these habits from his parents and growing
Yeah.
up, and it's like that's so hard to unlearn because you just see no problem with it, really.
Yeah.
Like you're like, yeah, I could clean it. Like I know how to clean it. But, like, I just don't think I need to. Like, it just doesn't, you know, we're just crazy for the poo-poo stains. But, yeah, like, when you're with your family or when you're with a partner, you have a lot more forgiveness there, which is obviously what's happening with OP, too. But, like, if you're either living on your own or, like, living with roommates, that you don't have any forgiveness there. Because they're like, dude, you got to do this or else, like, it becomes, like, a business transaction there. So, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
But there's a little bit more to the story. So, I really do love him, and I see that he is trying. As I'm typing this, he texted me asking how he left the toilet this morning because he made sure he looked at it when he finished, and he flushed twice. I appreciate his efforts, I really do, but also some part of me still feels like it would be best to end things, and if we end up back together, then we do, and if we don't, we don't. He kept saying to give him some time, but how much time is too much? I don't know. I will try to go back to normal as much as I can because I know that that's what he's hoping for after we talked yesterday. I know he could tell something was still off, and I know I told him, and you wonderful people in the comments, that I would tell him when something is bothering me. So I want to tell him I truly appreciate his efforts to keep the apartment clean, but his car, his parents' house is still a very big issue to me, and honestly, just see what he says. After these conversations we've had, I do feel as if I'm able to open up a little bit more to him, so I want to give myself time to think about the wording, but I'm planning on bringing this up to him soon. Thank you all so much for the advice and comments and words of wisdom. I truly needed it. I'm also researching therapists to help me with my own issues and am contemplating bringing it up to him once I do find one to see if he would be open to seeing one as well. So thank you. And
I
that's
like
the end of that
this.
story.
I like this a lot. Taking a step back, I could not live with someone this messy because like
Yeah.
that
it's
affects your
dirty.
mental health, dude.
It really does. It
And you
really
got to be the
does.
best possible person of yourself before you,
Yeah.
you know, engage in a marital situation.
Right, and she was thinking too, like, about kids. Like, if they had kids and like either they lived like this or they wanted to go to his parents' house, like the
Yeah.
kids would be getting all that grime all over them because
They
they're
could.
kids. They don't know.
Well, they could also help with their immune system, though.
I guess, but
I see more
sometimes
pros now.
Could have diseases though. No,
You beat the
No.
diseases when younger.
no.
It's like a coin flip, dude.
My boyfriend believed that I'm only dating him because he's rich.
Well, if I was,
I, female 29, have been dating my boyfriend, male 35, for almost 6 months. We've known each other for about a year and a half. I'm a teacher and make around $50K a year, and he's a lawyer. And while his yearly earnings vary based on which clients and companies he works with, it's always somewhere in the 6 figures. By the way, this comes from Peachy Teach 777. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, recently we attended a family get-together at my parents' house. My parents, a male and female 60s, and older brother, male 35, had already met him before this, but also invited some of our extended family and my sister-in-law's family as well. Everything was going fine until my sister, female 32, walked in. We're low contact. We'd be no contact if my parents didn't want to have a relationship with her, and nobody told me she had been invited. Not cool. When I asked my mom what was up, she said she invited her because she needed some encouragement. For what? I encouraged her to stay away.
yeah.
I was absolutely fuming, but decided to see how the night went and leave if my sister decided to stir anything up. Thankfully, my sister seemed fine and I didn't see her much. My boyfriend left early since he was tired, and I thought that was that. Boy, was I wrong. A week passed with no messages from him, which is really weird. We text each other every day, just chatting about our days or making plans for dates. Then all of a sudden, he texts me to meet up at a park and that he wanted to talk about something important. I had no idea what was up.
I'm smelling a breakup.
Oh, I'm smelling that sister told him something at the party.
Oh. Well, I think I read ahead and then I jumped to a
Your
conclusion.
sense of smell is too good. We met. He doesn't hug me, also out of the ordinary, and I ask him what's wrong. First thing out of his mouth, "Are you dating me just 'cause I'm rich?" What the heck? No, I'm not, and I tell him that. He just asks me again. I ask him where he's getting this from. It's so out of left field. Then he asks me if I've ever said all my problems would be solved if I married rich. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely have joked about that. Haven't we all? Haven't we all joked about how all our problems would
course.
go away if we married rich?
Well, because it's true.
It's true.
My problems would be solved if I won the lottery.
That's also true. Probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, your problems will be solved, but then you'll have different problems.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
but my
mean-
first level of problems will be solved.
Right, my money problems will be solved.
But in the same way you say, maybe I should quit my job and move to Iceland and herd sheep for the rest of my life. I get you, girl. You don't have to explain yourself.
Yeah.
Anyways, I tell him that and ask him again, where the heck is this coming from? He said my sister told him. Apparently, she introduced herself and they chatted for a bit. When he told her he was a lawyer, she said, that makes total sense because OP always wanted to marry rich. Looks like she's living the dream. Y'all, I could have screamed.
Oh.
I can't even describe the emotions I was feeling. My sister had the absolute audacity to take a joke I said when I was a depressed teenager with health issues out of context and misrepresent me to my boyfriend. Literally insane. I was shaking. I told my boyfriend that what she said was entirely out of context and he can't trust her. But now it just sounds like it sounds like he's like, I've already heard the truth and now you're just trying to discredit her.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like, well,
But it's like, no.
she should be discredited.
Yeah, but also, like, have you not talked to your boyfriend about your relationship with your sister?
I don't know, actually.
Because I feel like if you have that poor of relationship, you would have come up, and then you could have been
Yeah.
like, well, you know my sister. She's always saying stuff like this.
Right,
That's why I don't have a relationship with her.
right. And I mean, hopefully, too, the fact that she was, like, a teenager when she said this, and
Yeah.
now she's, like, in her late 20s,
Yeah.
I think. Like, hopefully that explains it, too.
He just kept pressing and asking, why would she say something like that so casually if it wasn't the truth? I told him because she's a self-absorbed person who's spent years treating me like the old 1-2 bag and never taking accountability. He just couldn't get it, so I left. I told him that he was going to take the word of one person who he just met over the word of all my friends and family who will vouch for me that I'm not that kind of person. Over all of the months he spent getting to know me as a person, then this wasn't going to work. The tears were already starting to come down, but I managed to hold it together all right until I got to my car and just sobbed. I feel broken. I'm in love with my boyfriend. He's the first person I have ever felt comfortable being myself with. He truly is such an intelligent, mature person. The way he communicates in our relationship has been truly healing, coming from the family dynamics I grew up with. But the biggest fear I've had with dating is that someone wouldn't trust me. That the person I love and trust the most would question me on who I am when I've already shown them. Which is why this whole situation is so confusing and painful. I don't get it. It's been a few days and I don't know where we go from here. I haven't texted him because I need space and he hasn't texted me either. Am I overreacting? I feel like he should have known better than to just essentially take a stranger's word over mine. Where do we go from here? Am I overreacting? And there is an edit. I'll read that really quick. The commenter who talked about relationships being a two-way street really stuck in my head. I don't think I've handled this properly. That and the commenter talking about me essentially being the dumper, and that if I don't want this relationship to end, I'm the one who needs to make that clear. All in all, I don't think I handled this situation well. I'm going to text my boyfriend and see if we can actually just hash everything out. I'm not sure where things are going to end up, but I know that neither of us can make a decision about anything if we don't talk about it. We'll see how it goes. There are some comments and an update, folks. I think they're both acting very rashly here.
Yeah.
It seems like he comes and he says, your sister said that
Right.
you married me because I'm rich.
Yeah.
And she said, no. And he said, your sister said that
Yeah.
you married me, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, fine. If you can't even believe who I am, then we're done. And she left.
Oh, so she did. Oh, dang.
I think that he is very much in the wrong, and I understand why she was very hurt by that. But I do
Yeah.
understand the comments saying, like, hey, let's actually have a mature conversation that's not being fueled by, like, big emotions and stuff. And, like,
Right.
wait, like, say, let's calm down. Let's have a mature conversation. If he's still accusing you,
Yeah.
head out.
Yeah, because it really does feel very dramatic. Like
Yeah.
that whole conversation of him being like, did you say you wanted to marry me because I'm rich? And then she's like, why would you say that? And she's like, did you say you wanted
Yeah.
to marry me because I'm rich? It's like, that feels
Yeah.
like,
It's pouring.
did you, yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
it's pouring rain. And
Yeah.
he's asking like if she
Did you
just
cheat on
did this
me?
whole con
Yeah.
against his family or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it sounds like with the level of
Did you marry me
drama.
just because I'm the crown prince?
Right.
No, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Your sister said that you did. Pouring
Right.
rain. Shh, shh.
Yeah,
shh.
exactly.
I just can't even believe you. I don't even know you.
Yeah, it's so dramatic.
Yeah, there are some comments. Vivid Ad says, has to be way more to this. If you're paying for all your own stuff, there's zero reason to believe you're with him for money. Is he paying your bills? Do you ask him for money? Does he spend a lot of money on you? Sounds like he's been taken advantage of before. Or he's flying too high in the sky. That kind of comment of marrying rich would make a man making good money feel uncomfortable. But if there's no reason to believe that, then it shouldn't be an issue. Opie says he doesn't pay my bills, and I definitely don't ask him for money. I was raised with a we don't have money for stuff like that, Dad. So I find asking for money hard even if I'm owed it. He definitely is generous with how he spends money on me. On our first date, he showed up with flowers, and I was stunned because no one ever did that for me before. That's normal. He should be doing that. That's not like going above and beyond.
Yeah, exactly.
After I told him, he's brought flowers for every single date consistently. Stop. I love that. When I told him I was going to wait a few months to take my car into the shop because then I'd have a bit more money saved, it was making a weird squeaking noise. He literally drove me and the car to the shop that day and told me not to worry about it. My safety was more important. And there is an update 3 days later.
Oh, wow.
I honestly think, yeah, have that conversation.
Yeah,
Have
because,
a mature conversation.
like,
Seems like everything else is good.
yeah, and in so many of these stories that we read, it's like they find something out, and then that person who finds out this misinformation is like, we're over, we're
Yeah.
done with this, without having a conversation. And she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would think this without having a conversation. And it's like, well, I mean, he's kind of there to have that conversation. Like,
Yeah.
even though he wasn't really believing her super fast, like, that's what he's there for, you know?
But there is an update, folks.
All right.
So let's do it. Hi, all. I just want to make an update since a lot has happened over the weekend. Some comments helped me realize that simply walking away from the conversation was not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But again, both of you had very high emotions, and I think waiting until you are both cooled down is probably very smart. I decided to text my boyfriend on Friday and sent him this message. Hey boyfriend, I want to apologize for leaving things the way I did. I was really upset and hurt, so I left before my emotions got worse, which obviously didn't help the situation. Can we meet up this weekend and talk? I want to see if we can get on the same page and evaluate our relationship. He texted me back almost immediately and agreed to meet up at my place yesterday. He obviously also wants to get back.
Yeah.
You guys both want this relationship,
just
and you let
being-
your sister get in the middle of ya.
Yeah, it's just a gaggle of silly geese over here.
Silly geesies. I was pretty nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Some people thought that I should just break up with him, and others thought that maybe there was something deeper going on that he wasn't telling me. Either way, I wanted to get all the facts. Smart. When I opened the door, he was holding a bouquet of flowers, and I had a look on his face I've never seen before.
Aww.
It was a mixture of sad and concern, which was kind of overwhelming because he's not really the type to be so expressive or emotional. He gave me the flowers and we sat down, and the first words out of his mouth were, "I'm so sorry, OP, I know I effed up." See, guys, sometimes you have a real conversation with people that you love
Yeah.
and it works out.
And you can solve your problems.
And you can
Who
solve your
would've thunk?
problems.
Who would have thunk?
That apology just really calmed me down because I was so afraid this was going to be a back and forth of us trying to defend ourselves for what happened. He said he was just about to text me to meet up and talk when I texted him. I thanked him for the apology and apologized for my reaction to and asked him, how did we get here? Can you just explain everything from the beginning so I can understand? I wasn't prepared for what he told me.
Oh my gosh.
Dun, dun,
I'm
dun. What do you
actually
think he told her?
Really excited for this. I don't know. I think maybe the sister said more things or
Yeah.
something. I wasn't expecting to have another like twist in this, and I'm really very happy.
I think the sister said more.
I think so.
For some context, my boyfriend was not the person he used to be.
Oh.
He used to be a serial womanizer, workaholic type of guy. I was aware of all this before we started dating. Dude, this is the plot of a movie where, like, the prince who's always out on the town womanizing people,
Yeah.
you know, meets this kindergarten teacher at a bookstore or whatever.
Yeah.
And they slowly fall in love.
Right.
And then he finds out that, like, she wants to be with him for money.
Yeah.
And he's like,
And then everything's over.
yeah.
They have a fight in the rain in the middle of the cobblestone streets, and they have accents.
Yeah, and
They
they
have
have
British
accents.
accents.
They've got British accents.
Yeah.
His dad, the king, who is also a lawyer, was his idol. He wanted to be just like him. Dude, this
You're-
is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, this is exactly it.
However, his dad had been married to his mom for many years, so that was where my boyfriend drew a line. He was fine hooking up with women while he was single, but as soon as he got married, that would be the end, and he would be a faithful partner like his dad. I would hope so.
Yeah, right?
Kind
I
of.
mean,
That's not like that. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, things kind of all came crashing down when he found out his mom had been cheating on his dad for years.
Oh, no.
When my boyfriend told his dad about it, and she's probably cheating with, like, the prime minister.
Yeah, it's some other duke from
Yeah.
another province.
His dad told him to keep it to himself because his dad had also been cheating for years. No!
Oh my gosh, these are plot
Dude.
twists I wasn't expecting.
Oh, this is a movie.
Oh
Dude,
my
OP,
goodness.
you have a movie script right here. Just make everyone British.
Yeah, make everyone British.
And also make your partner the Prince of England. I don't know.
pitch it to Hallmark or
Yeah.
Netflix or something.
Like, My Fair Prince.
Yeah, that's a great name for it.
My You with the Prince.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So is he
Dang.
now going to be like, well, I have to follow in my dad's footsteps?
Yeah, well, I
cheat on
had to do it.
I guess I don't have to be faithful like my dad because he wasn't.
I think they both knew about the other affair partners and just decided they cared more about their image and reputation, so they never got a divorce.
Wow.
Because they're the king and
Because
queen of
they're
England.
royals.
They can't get a divorce.
Exactly.
My boyfriend was floored. The idealized image of his dad was shattered, and he got really depressed. He started drinking and going to bars more after work, and that's where he met our mutual friend, Matt. Matt was working as a bartender and got to know him a bit. I'm seeing this whole movie play out in my head.
Yeah, no, I really am too. OP, I like it. I like it.
Matt's a wonderful person, the type who really takes an interest in everyone. Matt helped him get a better handle on his life, and they became friends. My boyfriend completely changed his lifestyle. He stopped over drinking, cut his hours down from the 80 to 90 hour work weeks he used to do, and stopped objectifying women just to sleep with them. That's good.
Cool.
Nice. Matt later moved into my city for work, and I was introduced to him because he started dating one of my friends, Becca. My boyfriend and I actually met at Matt and Becca's wedding. Anyways, my boyfriend moved out here a few years ago to get away from his parents after his lifestyle changed to essentially restart his life for good. Dude, he gave up the crown.
Wow.
He moved to
So
yeah,
that
I know OP's
he
American.
could have a
Yeah.
So that he could have like a low key, like simple life out
Yeah.
of the spotlight.
And he's like I don't know, he's like walking on the street one day and OP bumps into him and he's
Yeah.
like, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah.
And she's
and
like,
then-
"No. Who are you?
yeah.
Am I supposed to?" And
Oh,
he's
wow.
like, "Wow.
like, oh my gosh.
I've never met anyone who didn't know who
She's
I was."
so hot 'cause she doesn't know me.
She doesn't know who I am.
She's the type to bring a book to a concert.
She's reading a book at a concert. I've never seen a girl like that before.
Whoa.
Oh my god. She's so quirky.
And then they fall in love and
Then they
give
fall in
birth
love.
to Anne Hathaway.
Yes.
Start making out.
Ew.
Well, sure.
So that brings us to last week, after I left the park. My boyfriend took what I said to heart, that the word of my family and friends should be enough for him to trust me, and went straight to Matt after to get his thoughts. My boyfriend said Matt was really kind, letting him explain what happened without interrupting. But then afterwards, Matt really laid into him. Matt asked him, "Do you really think OP would still be living in a crappy one-bedroom apartment if she was dating you just for money? Has she ever given you any reason to question her before all of this?" My boyfriend admitted that I had never given him any reason to question my motives.
Yep.
That he knows I'm generous and not materialistic, but my sister's words got into his head. He said, "It was like listening to a child. They have no reason to lie to you, so I believed it immediately." I actually don't blame him for that part. Every single person who has met my sister describes her as innocent and bubbly, and has a very difficult time seeing her as anything but that. Even my parents still view her like this, despite them knowing how many people she's cheated on. Yikes.
Well,
How much of their money she's wasted and never given back, and how many times she's joked about unaliving them or myself.
okay, so when we're looking at a list of characteristics, that's a wild one to throw in there.
I didn't know this next part, but my boyfriend opened up to Matt when they were first getting to know each other about how many women used him for his money. "People only saw me as Crown Prince Peter. I wasn't anything but Crown Prince Peter. And then when I met OP, she just saw me as that guy.
Right.
That man on the street that she knocked over.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be that guy who just did laundry at a laundromat and didn't have servants do it for him." I knew that his last relationship ended badly while he still lived out east, but apparently this was the first major relationship after his lifestyle change, and he really loved her. He bought basically everything for her all of the time, and she still cheated on him. All of that led him to become really insecure about people's motives when it came to dating. He explained that even some of the nicest women just lit up and acted completely different when he told them he was a lawyer, Crown Prince, and it completely unalived any desire he had to get to know them better. He told Matt he didn't want to date anyone unless he knew someone who could vouch for them personally. Matt was the one who encouraged him to ask me out because he already noticed we liked each other and told my boyfriend that I was a good person. "I know this girl. She comes in here time to time.
Yeah.
She's a real dime.
Yeah.
A real dime piece.
Yeah.
You should ask her out."
Should ask her out.
"I don't know, Matt. I just can never find anyone who loves me for me. Do you really think she could be the one?"
And then she walks in the door,
Yeah.
hair
blowing.
He's like, "All right, I'll give it a shot."
Oh, all right.
If
I
you
think she
insist,
might
I mean.
Back to the recent conversation, Matt suggested that if my boyfriend needed more outside confirmation, he should listen to me and go talk to people in my life to get a better perspective of what kind of person I am. He starts interviewing people. There's a whole montage of him collecting notes about OP, and everyone's like, "OP's the nicest gal a girl could ask for a friend for."
I'm seeing he's getting introduced to her family, and
Yeah.
they live in like a small, like crammed apartment and
Yeah,
stuff.
and he's like
but they're really
surrounded by little kids.
Yeah, and he's at first like, ugh,
Yeah.
what? It's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Like, you don't have your maid come in and clean
Yeah.
up after
And
you?
all the kids are like sneezing
Yeah.
into their arms.
Right.
He's like, ugh.
But then they all gather around for
And
a
it's
movie night,
Christmas.
and they're all
Yeah.
and then they all huddle together on the couch, and he sees that they really just value each other.
And he's like, "I really understand the magic of Christmas now." My boyfriend has actually spent the last week doing exactly that. He even went to my
Exactly what
parents
we were describing. That's
Yeah.
what she means.
and told them what happened. Apparently, my mom was horrified. She really likes my boyfriend, so when she found out that inviting my sister had essentially caused a rift in our relationship, my mom got really upset. Her whole aspiration has always been to see all our children married. And since my sister has had nothing but failed relationships, and I've otherwise been chronically single, knowing she did anything to mess up my relationship was probably pretty upsetting to her. He said that she was crying and very apologetic. He also asked her to give me space until he had had a chance to apologize to me himself, which in hindsight makes a lot of sense because my mom usually calls and texts me every day and has been MIA this whole week. All in all, my boyfriend said that my friends and family had nothing but good things to say about me, that I was absolutely not a gold digger, and anyone who ever suggests that is just plain wrong. I was crying pretty hard by this point, hearing everything. My boyfriend kept apologizing and saying he'd do anything to earn my trust back, but he also said that if our relationship was going to work, if my sister might pop up again unexpectedly, he needed to know everything. He wanted to be prepared for exactly what kind of person she is, so this kind of thing never happens again. So I told him, not absolutely everything because there's so much to cover, but once I started mentioning things, I just kept going. I'm not going to get into the gritty details on Reddit because my sister might see it, and also a lot of it is really painful. But the long and short of it is she has untreated mental illnesses. That was very obvious from a lot of the comments that she makes. Yep. That she refuses to get help for. The times we have gotten her specific help, therapy, inpatient, medications, she has been uncooperative or stopped treatment against medical professionals' advisement, and she has a pattern of awful behavior and love bombing in all of her relationships, both familial and romantic, that she never takes accountability for. This is why I'm low contact with her. By now, you're probably wondering if I'm in therapy. I haven't been for some time because I've been working contracts and didn't have insurance coverage through work. But I will come September. Something my boyfriend both agreed to in this conversation is for both of us to get individual therapy. Him to deal with his unresolved insecurities and trauma around his parents and past relationship, and me because my sister did a number on me, and I've never really opened up about it in therapy. We're also going to set scheduled weekly times where we're not necessarily going to go on dates, but have uninterrupted time to talk openly, especially on any insights we've had in therapy. By this point of the conversation, things were getting a little less heavy, and I joked about how we both have the same trauma reaction of going silent when things get too intense. We both agreed that we didn't handle this well, and in the future, any and all concerns we have will be communicated properly and immediately. We're not going to run away from each other, and if we don't understand something, we're going to ask questions until we do. Since we talked for hours, we ended up just making dinner at my place and talking some more. I'm really hopeful for what comes next. And there are some comments, but do you have any final thoughts?
I think this is great.
I think everything about this is great.
Yeah, I now really want to watch a movie where there's a prince and the pauper kind of
I
thing.
agree.
But
Yeah, but the pauper is OP.
yeah. And these
And they
ones
fall in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
I
not.
like it.
They're not sisters.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
You guys maybe work on your communication and stay away from your sister.
Right.
You got this.
Yeah. I believe in this relationship. I believe in you guys.
I believe in it. Comments. Nola says no one told the OP that a boyfriend came around asking about her. Odd. OP says, after my boyfriend's convos with Matt and then my parents, he basically said he had what he needed in his words to reassure himself of my intentions. Just to round things out, he casually reached out to a few more of my friends and my brother with, hey, just curious how you would describe OP as a person and what her values are, text. Only one of my friends kind of questioned him about it. He told her that he was in his head a bit and needed some outside reminders to reassure him of what he already knew. I'm not surprised none of my friends said anything to me. We usually update each other about stuff in person, so I imagine when I meet up with them, they'll bring it up then. And folks, that's the end of that story.
My boyfriend thinks I'm only after his money, so I'm walking away.
It's not about the money, or is it?
I'm 34 female, breaking up with my boyfriend, 34 male, because of a prenup. I've been with my boyfriend for about 2 years. Everything is going well, and we love each other. We've been discussing marriage, and he mentioned that he would not marry me without a prenup. By the way, this comes from Pumice Alice. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So we discussed this in detail, and I did not like what he proposed. His family owns a lot of property, land, and has lots of savings. After marriage, he wants me to move into one of the houses that his parents own. I told him that I am uncomfortable building a life and family in a house that I have no ownership in, and he didn't understand. I told him I would prefer to rent a place together, or we can live temporarily in one of his parents' houses and look at a property together, but he refused. He said he liked the houses his parents and he already owned. He said that he would not buy another property, and he said that he would not sell any of his property to buy one with me. He told me if I wanted to own property, I could save up money by living in one of these properties and invest in one myself. Problem is, he would be entitled to half if we divorced, since my purchase would happen after marriage. He told me that I could pay his parents' rent if I feel like I don't belong on the property. He told me that I could buy half of the house we live in from his parents. The problem is, I don't like the houses that he or his parents own. They also have a lot of stuff, and I feel like there's no space for me. I want to look at houses, I want to pick the place I live in, and I want to do it with my partner. I've made this clear to him over and over, but he won't budge. He earns more than me and has more assets than me for sure. He made it clear that he was afraid I was a gold digger, and he wanted to protect himself and his family's assets from me, which I can understand. This whole thing has made me feel very weird. This topic has come up before, and it has always made me feel very small. It makes me feel like all he cares about are his assets. It makes me feel like he wants me as long as I fit into the life that he already built and doesn't care to build one with me. It makes me feel like a gold digger. He has enough money to retire right now and live comfortably. I don't. He basically told me that whatever money he earns now, he can spend, so he won't be investing in too much anymore. He expects our earnings and our savings after marriage to be split, which I feel off about. I'm sure this is normal for some people. I'm sure other people would be happy to be with someone who was well off, but I'm not. I want someone beside me building a life with me, not someone who has built a life with his parents and wants me as long as I behave and fit into his life, which is how he's been making me feel. So I'm leaving him. I'm welcome to opinions on this, and there are some comments, but I want to hear your opinions on this, Keon.
When we divorce, was it when we divorce or if we divorce?
Probably if. Hopefully it was
It's
if.
like if we, yeah. But I was like,
Yeah.
why is that on your mindset? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's again smart to have in case, like in the prenup. I get that. Again, that makes sense.
Sure. I don't know, but I mean, I guess like when it comes down to it, she just doesn't like the house, and she's just like,
She
"Can we
doesn't
just
like the
find a
house?
new one? I don't want to live there." And he's like, "Well, I do." So
Yeah, I guess he's comfortable with what he's got. Makes sense, and she's
Yeah.
not comfortable with what he's got. So they want. I can see again both sides. So let's see what the comments say. I want to hear what the comments say.
Me too. So comments. Comment number 1 says, "This is a great move. You're doing the right thing. I'm usually team prenup, but you'd be getting screwed here, especially if you kept building wealth and your assets post-marriage, and he just kicks back on what he already has. If you did split, he'd make out better than you, despite already starting with one leg up. On top of that, he's not listening to what you want, your own place and space and a life you build together. He just wants you to follow his plan. Yucky." OP responds, "That's what I was trying to get him to see too. But he takes it as, oh, so you're coming after the wealth and my parents worked so hard to build?" And I'm left speechless. But that's not what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's just like, hey, I just don't want to be like out of house and home if we divorce.
Yeah.
I
This
don't-
is very like
That's crazy.
I'm trying to understand both sides here because both sides make sense, but the way this is going, I don't know.
Yeah. If you think that's something I would do, then why would you want to marry me? And OP responds to that, I've asked him that, and he says that he doesn't think I'll do it, but just in case. Comment number 2 says, I'm not sure such a one-sided prenup would even be enforceable. But since by the time a divorce happened, OP would be so disheartened and beaten down by being a powerless accessory to her husband and his family, that might not matter or help. This sounds like an invitation to a lifetime of financial abuse, devaluation, and control for OP. Fiancé cares nothing about OP's goals, values, needs, and vulnerabilities in life's major areas. He's got his locked in so tight that he never has to consider, much less compromise, to support OP's unique humanity, point of view, and need for autonomy. OP responds, yes, I do feel like he wouldn't support me, which is what I want. His family is actually really sweet. I have a feeling his parents don't know about the situation, but I will talk to everyone when I leave, so I'll keep y'all updated. And we do have an update. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess like just trying to cover your own back and like in case if something does happen, you don't want to be screwed over.
Right.
I get that. And that's what prenups are for. That makes sense. I feel like if it's a more fair prenup and all that jazz, this is one of those things where I'm like, I keep saying it, I'm trying to see on both sides.
Yeah.
I see that OP is just trying to, at least try and hear me out, like, to her partner. And it's just like, no, none of that. Like maybe meet in the middle, but he's not budging, and I guess that's not fair.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't fair. But it's just an interesting thing as well because neither of us are married, and we've never been through this.
Right.
I mean, I've been through a divorce with my family, and that was just a yucky situation. So I get it.
Yeah. It happens. Yeah.
Intriguing.
I don't know, but yeah, maybe it just comes down to how they're communicating about it, and maybe like that's really the issue
and how it comes across. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we do have an update. So before I start, here's some important context. I have a stable and rewarding career, and though I don't earn as much as him, I am very happy with what I can afford. My parents have always taught me that women should be independent, and I have taken that to heart. I live below my means, which has allowed me to put aside money for savings and investments. A lot of comments have mentioned that I should take the free rent and that it would somehow set me forward in life, but for me, giving up my sense of autonomy and control over my home, my save space, is not worth the potential savings. I lived with my parents and saved aggressively until I was 30, so I am lucky enough to be in a position where I can comfortably afford rent or a mortgage by myself. Plus, he expected the living situation to be permanent. I would not move into a house owned by someone else just to save rent. Would it be nice to save $2,000 a month? Sure. But most people pay rent, and I am not an exception. If I really wanted that, I could move back in with my parents. But again, autonomy is very important to me. Also, if he's this stubborn now, I don't see how the situation could be improved later after I already moved in. I could also counter the prenup and make it so all my accumulated assets stay mine, or put in a clause that I'll be compensated for any children we have, or put that I'd get alimony or at least have a roof over my head in case we divorce. But for me, that feels overly transactional. It also gives me the vibes that I'm going to be living with a roommate who I sleep with and might have babies with, not a partner. I prefer to feel like we're in it together. He can keep what was his, but I want to build up what is ours. Also, if everything is completely split, it'll open up a new can of worms. How will our expenses be split if I'm working and he's just chilling? What happens when we have children? He has money saved for them, but will I get a say in how we can spend that money? I know these can be worked out, but this is not the type of marriage I want. I can't predict everything that will happen, and I don't think I can capture it in a contract. And it's already been so heartbreaking for me, I don't want to go through anymore. Anyways, yada, yada, yada. I'll just say that it felt like I was being stripped of my autonomy, stonewalled, and treated like a hostile. And okay. On to the updates. Okay, do you have any thoughts about that before we move on? That was interesting.
Yeah,
context.
I feel like you guys have two different thought processes, maybe, like with your finances, and I get it. OP, you have your way of doing things.
Yeah.
If he doesn't come around to that, because he grew up differently as well,
right.
it's already clashing.
We've heard so many stories where it's just like all of a sudden the parents are just like, nope, everything that I promised you, gone.
Exactly.
Some sort of fight will happen. Maybe if there's a divorce, probably a fight happened, and then the parents will obviously choose sides. And then, yeah, it's very possible that they'll just use that power. So it's if she wants half of like the house and the asset, it's not because she wants the parents' money. It's just because she doesn't want to get screwed over.
Exactly.
I
and that,
support that.
Again, like I said, I see both sides, but again, just the way they think, or I guess I can see their mindsets.
Yeah.
And she said, it's like, we're already clashing and it's not
Right.
working.
Yeah.
Unless if somebody budges, I don't think it's going to work out.
I agree, but on to the updates. So I told him I needed to end this relationship. Boom. I appreciated and truly enjoyed my time with him, but our financial values and the preferred married lifestyle just don't match. Exactly what you said. It was a quick and easy conversation, to be honest. I expected the breakup to be a bit of a process, not a one and done thing, since our lives overlap a lot. I'm also in contact with a lot of his family, so of course, during this whole time, a lot of them got involved, but blah, blah. Not super relevant to the updates. So, the talk with his parents. Okay, I love his parents. I had a great relationship with them. I would go over to their house, we would have food, chat, watch TV. Sometimes I would go to the parties they host without my ex if he was busy. A few days after my talk with my ex, I went over to say goodbye. I didn't know if the prenup was family enforced or not, so I kept it very general and mainly focused on how the situation made me feel and what I was looking for in a relationship. His parents were shocked Pikachu face when I told them why I was leaving. I'm going to bullet point the rest.
His parents really want grandbabies. However, ex's younger brother and sister-in-law do not want kids. So they were so happy when I came into their lives and she found out that I wanted kids. His parents had created their wealth together, with his dad being the major breadwinner for most of the relationship. His mom was shocked at what he was offering me, saying these aren't the values he was raised with. Oh, interesting. Whoa. So the mom might be against the boyfriend.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
This is a development.
That's kind of nice to hear. It's a relief. She had been effectively retired since almost 15 years ago, and she said that ex's dad never made her feel uncomfortable because of the difference in earning potential. They told me that they built their assets for themselves and their children. They said that includes whoever their children decided to share their lives with. They have many properties. However, they also have enough investments that they can live off of those. They also told me that their plan was to sign over a house of our choosing as a wedding gift or sell a house and give us cash so we could buy a house we both wanted.
Wow.
That's insanely nice.
That sounds
generous.
Wow.
I want that.
Thank you.
They have multiple properties. Ugh.
I'll marry your son.
Yeah,
And
there
I'll
you
take
go.
him half.
Exactly. As they got older, they planned to evenly divide their properties between my ex and his brother since they wouldn't want to manage the properties anymore and live off investments. Ex's mom said that she would have made sure that my name was on my ex's portion, especially since we were wanting kids. They mentioned investments will go directly into funds for grandkids after their passing. Maybe this is what my ex was referring to when he said his children would be set. Bit morbid, though. Ex's mom told me that the mother of her grandbabies would be taken care of, and she wanted us to be on equal footing while raising a family. To be honest, this conversation was kind of like a weight off my chest. I always loved his family and never felt excluded, but the prenup talks left me confused and hurt. What they said fit with what I knew from my ex and them before. I'd be lying if I said I didn't start imagining this life. So I talked to my ex again. I'll bullet point this too. Basically, he told me his dad had joked before about how he hoped him and his brother would not find gold diggers, and that's where that comment came from. He felt responsibility to protect his parents' assets since he didn't feel entitled to them, so by extension, I wasn't entitled either. In his culture, sons carry on the family line, so he felt that he had to keep his assets in the family line, which I'm not a part of, but any sons we had would be. Whoa. And if you have daughters, they won't either? Dang.
Interesting.
I don't like that. Most of the assets he's worried about are under his parents' name, and he had never asked for their opinion on what to do. He just did what he thought he should be. He also said that he isn't that well off, and that his assets shouldn't come between us. You're not that well off with all your multiple properties?
You're getting a house or a certain amount of money for a house.
My goodness.
For a wedding gift.
Oh my goodness.
But you're not that well off.
Not that well off.
He's being humble.
All these small assets to come between us. This is still confusing to me. Isn't this whole thing because he was well off and wanted to hold on to what he had and not create a shared lifestyle? I think maybe he meant that he didn't own much and most things actually were under his parents' name. He felt like he was punching above his weight with me and was scared that I would leave him. Aw, little insecure boy. He was afraid that I was with him because of his finances, since that was the only thing that he had more of, whereas he said that I am intelligent, hardworking, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Do we think he's being genuine with those compliments?
I think he's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's one, because he's very insecure and just he's like, I'm just scared. I'm just scared, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, I mean, he might be right about that, and that could be brought up in a nice way, but it also could be brought up in a okay, just trying to get her to stay kind of way.
I don't know. That's any relationship. Even if you were poor, that's any relationship. You're taking a dive and a chance on somebody that you want to open your life with and trust and continue that path.
Exactly. He was scared about moving forward with the relationship, but instead of communicating, he became defensive. To me, it seems like he said and did things because he was feeling deeply insecure. He had made a couple of passing comments before about me being more beautiful than him or how I'm more hardworking, etc., etc., but I had always taken them as compliments, not self-deprecating comments towards himself. He also apologized over and over about how he didn't mean to make me feel like an outsider to him and his parents, and insisted that he wanted to share a life with me. He said that his insecurities and fear got the best of him and he didn't handle it well. He had taken advantage of my patience and lashed out because he felt inadequate and scared. It broke my heart because I think all of this could have been avoided. We've been through this song and dance before many times where he would feel some sort of way, then act out as he's processing it. I don't like that much. Until now, I always stay through it and we move on, but it's never gone on for so long. I've pushed him to seek individual counseling and we've attended couples counseling together, but I can't force him to sit and identify his emotions or employ the tools we were taught. The prenup conversation happened over a long period of time. He had so many chances to pump the brakes and reflect on what he was saying and simply just listen to me, but he didn't. He then sat in front of me saying that everything he said before was not what he meant. He said he would be happy to take care of me and our future kids. We could buy a house together or rent if I wanted to, because now he wasn't scared about creating a life together. Completely opposite to everything he had been saying.
I don't know. Do you think he's being genuine with
I don't
everything?
trust
Because
that.
especially since Opie talked to his parents.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Does he know that he talked? I think he knows.
He probably does.
Probably
that would make
does.
sense.
Dang, yeah, because I mean, at this point, I think she like technically already broke up with him, and then, and unless this is like before she called it quits.
I think so. I don't think they've broken up just
This
yet.
is like the process. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Definitely don't get married and have kids right away. Definitely wait for that, because if he has if he has the tendency to like lash out when he's getting upset and then won't say anything until you complain about it,
and to project his insecurities and not actually come to you and talk to them about it, but like just like that's
That's
very interesting.
yeah, that's not someone you want to like have kids with when he's hasn't like worked on this yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but how unsettling is it that he seemed so completely comfortable and confident in the hurtful words he previously said and was okay with placing me in a very unequal position in the relationship? Despite me continuously trying to articulate what I wanted and how he was making me feel, he didn't even consider my side over months. I know I have a good deal with what his parents are offering, and I know him and I get along super well, but I'm not marrying his parents. I can't have his mom with us during every argument or life decision we take. Thinking back, I can count on one hand where we've run into issues, and he was able to address it without acting up. He's such a nice guy, but I can't be his garbage bin every time he needs to sort out his feelings. It's already worn me down. He's a grown man, he's intelligent and intuitive. He's had 2 years to learn how to communicate with me, and he's not. I honestly can't tell if what he said to me is genuine or coming from his parents or coming from a fear of losing me. I could give him the benefit of the doubt again, but and move forward with the relationship, as I've done in the past, but I'm tired. I think this is a fixable problem, but I also have not seen any improvement since we started dating. If anything, this prolonged experience has made me feel it's gotten worse. I will not make the mistake of investing in a man because of what he could be instead of who he is. By the way, you can always invest in what we are, which is okay story time. Just go search that on your favorite podcast app, whether it's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever you choose, because we've got full episodes with more stories just like this one. Get on over there.
After this,
There is a little bit more to the story, but do you have any final thoughts before we move on?
I feel like everything I've said, OP's like says right after, which is very funny.
Yeah, literally.
Where was this, when every time I asked you about this, I had to go to your mom and hear the
literally.
truth, and then that's what made you actually tell the truth.
Yeah.
That should have never happened in the first place.
Right. Yeah.
2 years of doing this, I don't know.
Exactly. Because this isn't their first conversation about it. So it's not like she brings this problem up at first and immediately he's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. She's brought this up multiple times.
Yeah.
And he's
just like, no, this is what it's going to be like.
Exactly.
And like again, like at the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm trying to get a feel for everything, and now the full story has come. It just makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
You can't change this guy, or if you do, it's just like you're kind of doing the watching your watching over your shoulder kind of thing the entire time, because you don't know if it's genuine or not. It should have been genuine from the very get-go, but it wasn't.
But there is a little bit more to this story. If the last few months are a testament to how he handles stressful situations, I can only take things as they are and assume they won't change. This whole thing has left me sour. I can't just unhear and unknow that he's afraid I'm a gold digger. That was just one of many comments that really hurt me. For these reasons, I am still choosing to walk away. Very different from leaving because of a prenup, but it is leaving nonetheless. And to be honest, this hurts more. I know it will hurt for a while, but I pray that I'll be avoiding a heartache and complications in the future. Who knows? If it was meant to be, maybe we'll find our way back. For now, I've told him and his family that I need space and time. I know that it seems like I'm giving up a lot, but of course, there are things that I can't put in a post. I actually wrote the above quite early, but I didn't post because it didn't feel like it was over. But now, after this time, I know it is. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Dang. Wow.
Good on you, OP. You know your value, you know your virtues, and you know what the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to wait on someone, and you don't want to force someone. If they do it genuinely, and they do it naturally.
Right.
So it's going to suck for a little bit, but at least you know what you want, and you know what you want to live with.
Right.
And who to live with, and what you want in a partner.
Right.
So
I know,
that's the best thing.
Yeah, you're going about this in a really, really mature way and really healthy way. So great job on you. Yeah, this is, if he's only 2 years in and you've had these problems and he's dealt with it in a not healthy way, not a very mature way, this is definitely not going to change. So
yeah, just like, hey, and I guarantee you did in the breakup, you're like, this is not going to work out. You don't see what I want. And if that's how you see me, or if you're insecure about someone, going after your money, you got some real trust issues.
Exactly.
I mean, it's sure, but it shouldn't, that shouldn't be like your number one shield. And you know what? Bye. Wish you the best. You maybe go get a therapist to talk about that and reevaluate.
Dissect.
I refused to be with my boyfriend after I got hospitalized because of his laziness.
Yeah, get away from him. What the heck?
I, 23 female, recently got diagnosed with MDR-TB. It's a substance-resistant form of tuberculosis. After having kind of dismissed symptoms for a long time, I did not think I had anything serious going on until it got progressively worse. I collapsed during a trip abroad, and the hospital stay was horrific. I was in and out of consciousness after a while, dealing with organ failure, nerve pain, and constant nausea. I had to stay in the hospital for more than a month. I'm still recovering. It's going to take at least a year to feel somewhat normal. By the way, this comes from Commission Alarmed 293, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. The issue is my boyfriend, 27 male, Jake. We have been together for about 5 years now. He was supportive while I was in the hospital, messaging me daily and even visiting me while he could. But now that I'm out, he keeps bringing up how this whole thing made him realize life is short and we should move in together. Not that short. Take a minute.
Yeah, you've got time.
He's been pushing this idea since week 1 of my discharge. I'm barely functional right now. I still have to take medications daily, which comes with horrible side effects. My energy is so low, I can't even walk for long periods, and I've had to move in with my mom because I can't manage on my own yet. Jake says he'll take care of everything if I move in with him, but honestly, I don't trust it. He's kind, but he's also notoriously lazy. He can barely keep his apartment clean. I can't imagine adding my needs into that mess. I've told him he needed to deep clean the place, declutter, and keep it that way. On top of that, he smokes occasionally. Not a lot, usually just when he's stressed out or with friends, but I told him that he has to quit entirely. Besides, his friends drop by constantly, often without warning. I can't deal with loud gatherings or unexpected visits right now, so I told him that has to stop too. I feel like I'd end up taking care of him instead, which I physically and emotionally can't do right now. When I told him I'm not ready to move in, he got really defensive and accused me of not being serious about our relationship at all. He said I'm using my illness as an excuse and thinks I'm being overdramatic about the recovery process because I'm already out of the hospital.
Okay, so really, as
That's
someone who's
insane.
kind of a dork and understands what tuberculosis and TB actually is and used to do, like a bacteria or like a medication, drug-resistant tuberculosis is one of the scariest things you could get because it's like that would just like it would always win, pretty much. Like,
Well, like you would get addicted or something?
no, it's like your lungs would
tuberculosis.
stop working
Oh, I
and
see, I
you
see.
die.
Yeah. So OP is like
Had a
battling it out.
extremely serious illness, and yeah, you shouldn't be around anyone who smokes probably for a hot
absolutely
minute.
like your lungs are already messed up, dude.
Right.
So
And OP's putting up
so,
the boundaries.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, what were you
he's,
saying?
he's not like thinking about you and
He's
this
being
whole
selfish.
experience at all. He's like, oh, what? So you just got out of the hospital and you can't you're not fixed already.
The crazy thing is that he was like, your life-changing, your near-death experience made me realize that life is short. And then she's like, I would rather my life be a little bit longer. And he's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Huh?
Like, wow, if you care so much about like it's either me or your tuberculosis.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta choose.
Crazy.
Oh, and something I did not mention, he once said, well, you should be glad it's not.
Yikes.
You should be glad that I didn't deck you. His dad got diagnosed earlier this year, but it is a dumb comparison in my opinion. I tried to explain how dangerous it is for me to skip even one dose of my medication and how I'm struggling with basic daily tasks, but he just got defensive and said something like, I've done everything for you these past few months, and it feels like you don't even appreciate that. I told him that just because he visited me in the hospital, which I actually think is the bare minimum of what a boyfriend should do, doesn't mean he's ready to be my caretaker, and that I don't need another burden in my life right now. Now that I think about this, maybe that was a bit harsh of me to say, but he needs to hear it.
Yeah.
Since then, he's been distant. I know he loves me and wants to help, and I wonder if I'm being too defensive or if I should try harder to meet him halfway. A part of me also feels like he's making this all about himself when I'm the one who almost passed away. He's been telling friends I'm ungrateful for everything he did while I was sick, and I'm just trying to find an excuse not to move in with him. They're split. Some think he's being pushy, but others think I should give him a chance to prove he can step up. He has already wanted to move in with me even before I got sick, but then I thought I was too young. I think maybe that is why he's like this. Am I the a-hole for refusing to move in with him unless he makes a ton of changes, even though he's been really supportive in other ways while I first got sick? I'd love some responses. Edit, I have talked to him this morning and we made the agreement to first try it for a week to see if he can keep his promises to me. My mom is helping me pack some of my stuff so I can go there tomorrow morning. I really want to try and make this work. I know I sounded negative about him, but I think part of my problem is also just that I do not like feeling like a burden to him. He does live 2 hours away from where my mom lives, but if anything happens, I want to go back to her place. She will just come and pick me up. I'll keep you updated. And there is an update.
There is an update.
I do think this is a good test, to do. I don't think that he is going, like, based off everything that he's said before, I don't think he's going to, rise to the occasion, but I think it's a good test for OP to be like, I tried everything.
Yeah, I think it could be a good test. It kind of still feels like she doesn't want to move in though. Like
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, so I feel like
Don't let him push you
test
into,
it.
doing that just because he wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an update. This did not take long. I messed up. I just woke up about 20 minutes ago, felt a bit unwell, had to throw up. No big deal. This happens sometimes after one of my medications. I looked around and didn't see my boyfriend in the kitchen or living room. It's a one-bedroom apartment, so not much to search. Okay, he's probably on the toilet. I've waited for 10 minutes and he does not come out. I call his name. He doesn't respond. I go and check and he's not on the toilet. Okay, maybe just take it out the trash. I look in the trash can. It's not emptied. I call him on his phone and he doesn't pick up. But I don't hear his ringtone anywhere in the apartment. I call them a second time and he says he's back in 5 minutes. From where? Apparently he had to deliver a key to his workplace or else they couldn't open. My boyfriend was the last one to close last week and normally the first to open on Monday. He didn't think about how he still had the key at home. The other coworker could not leave the workplace as he does not have a car and came by bus, so according to my boyfriend, he had to go there himself and give it to him. I had no idea how to even feel about this. It effing scares me that he did not tell me. He didn't want me to wake up, and it is less than 10 minutes each way, but I didn't know he left me alone. If it wasn't for all the comments I have gotten on my post here, I would have said I'm overreacting, and he meant well, but I don't like that. Here is a copy and paste of some stuff I wrote in my notes yesterday. Positives. Not the pros and cons list. Uh-oh. It's so nice to be with him. We have the same sense of humor. It's just different being with him than being at my parents'. My mom is pretty stern and serious. I like the physical aspects, caressing, hugging, things like that. My mom also does not really hug or tell me she loves me. She shows love more in a practical way. He had an air purifier and humidifier that he bought, which I think is really considerate. He got free from work. He reminded me of my medication and gave them to me on set times. The apartment looks cleaner than I have ever seen it. He makes sure I eat enough and I don't have to do anything. But he seems more irritated and still not completely understanding. Some things he says are also more easily rubbing me the wrong way after reading the comments people left. Like, for example, that I'm sleeping too much during the day, so that's why I cannot sleep at night. and I should stop doing that. But I am just exhausted regardless of the time of day, and also my nerve pain is worse at night. He still smokes on the balcony and not inside, but still. He was super apologetic when I said that I didn't want that either. He claimed he didn't know, he wouldn't do it again. He'll buy nicotine strips tomorrow. I did not even know he now actually smokes that much to need something like that. He didn't about 2 months ago. I found out why he wanted this in the first place, besides wanting to be with me and moving forward in a relationship. Not spicy sleep or some weird caretaking fantasy, but money. I could stop the lease on my place, which I probably will do anyway. I'm not going there anywhere soon, and split his bills. Yikes. That sucks. That sucks. He's like, yeah, no, we have to take this step in our relationship, and also you have to help me pay for this.
Yeah, that's why.
Like, that's actually the reason.
Right.
Oh
my gosh.
rough.
That's crazy.
Mind you, I don't even earn that much as a sports coach, and especially not now where I'm not able to. I think I shouldn't have done this, and I will leave. By the way, you should never leave us because you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
Just get out of there.
Get out of there.
This isn't somewhat like, if you have these issues and like have to go to the hospital and stuff like that, I mean, first of all, money. Like, you need money to go towards that. But then second of all, too, like, your partner needs to be able to take care of you when you need it, because like, yeah, you need it. You're going
and
to the
you
hospital.
told him, you said, hey, I don't like want you to have to do all of this. It's gotta be a lot of work.
Yeah.
You gave him you laid everything out. You said, this is what I need.
Right.
Are you up to that? If you're not, totally fine.
Exactly.
We don't have to move in.
And it doesn't feel
not up to it.
like he wants that.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But
You
he
gotta
needs
be
to
up for the
realize that
task.
he's not up to it.
Exactly.
Instead of just diminishing what you need.
Exactly.
Edit, formatting, and time. It did not take 5 minutes to get back. He got stuck in traffic. It was about 20 minutes from the time I have called him. There, I already waited 20 minutes, and I have no way of knowing how long before I woke up that he left the house. My mom is mad at me for even considering going to him. My boyfriend does not see the problem and is mad I called my mom. Yeah, I should have listened to all of you. Edit 2, why was I discharged in this condition? I was discharged a bit earlier than they would have done normally, just until I was not contagious with TB anymore, and stabilized, due to health insurance issues, and me being in a hospital abroad instead of in my home country. There being someone present with me 24/7, at least for the first few weeks, was a condition they set to make the discharge possible. So this isn't just like, he was gone, it's fine, whatever. She probably told him, I need someone there 24/7. If you're not up for that, I'll stay with my mom. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
He's
Come
not
on.
up for the task,
He's
so
just not.
boot him.
My friend refused to sleep in the same bed with me. Now everything's awkward.
What kind of friend?
To preface, she, female 18, and I, female 19, are both college students, albeit at different schools and countries. However, we have been best friends for over 6 years and went to the same high school up until we graduated. Now I go to university in America, and she's in England. By the way, this comes from Princey Pescu? We both come from affluent backgrounds, so it's easy for us to travel. Whenever we do, we usually sleep together. We both have traveled internationally with our families, and we always slept on the same bed. When we were younger, we used to have sleepovers all the time, at least once a week. I continued loving them, and have them with my other friends too, while she gradually started having them less and less, not just with me, but with everyone else too. And then eventually started hating them.
Oh.
However, she can sleep with her boyfriend happily or her little sister. This hurts me because it is my love language and something I need in order to feel loved.
No. I'm sorry, sweetie. Nah, that's not something yet you're entitled to as a person.
Okay. For spring break this semester, I decided to fly over to England. For weeks before this, we talked about the sleeping situation. She has a vacation home in London in which she lives and kept on saying that I will be staying in my own room while she sleeps in hers. Because there's enough rooms to do this.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you're just going to take the other room, right? I was never okay with this, and we were always bickering back and forth about it, with me wanting to sleep with her and her wanting to sleep alone. Her reasoning was always, We will be together all the time and I'll be overstimulated. But that isn't true. Spring break in America is earlier than it is in England, so while I'm here, she will be at school. I knew this and said I'll be on my own. I wanted to do some shopping anyways. It's not like I'm making her skip school to spend time with me. Listen, you can sleep here for free in my guest room, or you can go pay for it somewhere.
Yeah, no, like, there's truly nothing left to say when someone's like, no. And I feel like this person is just being like, yeah, but shouldn't they say yes? No. They said no.
No's an answer.
They said no. That's it.
Because also, like, I feel like my love languages would be different for friends versus, like, actual partners. Like, if they're the same thing, I'd kind of be like, oh, what we doing here? This whole time, her answer has never been a straight no. It was always ambiguous. We eventually came to a compromise when we were back in our home countries for Christmas break, where I was going to sleep with her until I got tired of her. The thing is, we both know we won't want to sleep together for 10 days straight. Usually after 2 days, I'm tired of her. But I think that I should have the option to decide when it is that I want to stop sleeping with her. And she shouldn't just say that I can't sleep with her, especially when I flew across a whole 7 hours to see her across a different continent. So she doesn't get a say in anything, and you get all the say.
I flew 7 hours across the Atlantic Ocean so I could cuddle you. And you're going to tell me I can't? You can't. Tell me no.
So fast forward to yesterday, I get to England and everything is great. We met up with some friends and she showed me around. When we got back to her place, she started carrying my suitcase up. I thought she was going to put it in her room, 2nd floor, but she continues carrying it up to the 3rd floor where my room is. I started being like, that's not what we agreed on. And then she's like, it's not that big of a deal. We'll spend every second of every day together up until the last minute, and then you just go up to your room to sleep. We argued for a good 10 minutes, and she finally said, fine, you can sleep with me, but just know I'm unhappy with it, and I don't want this, which caused me to burst into tears. She gets so mad, saying, you always do this. You always cry when you don't get your way, and then angrily pulls my suitcase down to her room, then slams the door when I'm crying. This obviously caused me to cry harder, so I sit in the hallway just trying to call my other friend for some support. Like, this is also the situation where it would be great to have your own space to go to, your own room to go cry in. She comes out a few minutes later asking if I'm ready to be an adult. And at this point, I'm so mad that I don't reply, so she slams the door again. After sitting there for probably 40 to 50 minutes crying, I decide to go up to my original room and see that she made the bed and everything, which meant that she was planning for me to stay there the whole time. Yeah. Really? Never would have guessed.
Like, this is like I will like, again, like, I'll wish you the best, but like, trip's over. Let's work your flight around because I don't think I can be friends with you anymore after this.
Right. It's not even like friend is on vacation too. Friend's in school. This is your vacation.
Yeah, it's just an absurd thing. It's like, this is something that you can clearly grow and change and like realize, oh, that was absurd of me to demand that stuff. But until you do that, I'm like, it's gonna happen.
P.S. The room is not bad or anything. It's not like she's making me stay in the attic. The house is a nice multi-million-dollar property, so everything is very fancy. I just don't want to stay alone. After a while, I went back down to her room to get my suitcase and tell her I'm sleeping upstairs, while visibly crying, and she starts laughing, making jokes and asking me to talk. I don't, and finally move my suitcase up to my room when I hear the door slam hard again. This time, I'm crying even harder and almost having a panic attack because 1, she didn't stop me, and 2, she was okay seeing me cry like that. At this point, I really contemplated calling my mom to get me the F out of England. The thing is, my family also has a vacation home in France where my brother is currently staying for his spring break. But because I was planning on going to London, I didn't make a Schengen visa. We are both non-European and non-American. But I could make a Schengen visa really quick and go there. I just didn't know if that was too much, because if I did that, I'm sure our friendship would have been permanently damaged.
It's already permanently damaged.
Because of you.
It should be. This should be permanent damage.
And the only reason why I didn't call my mom was because I was scared she was going to hate my best friend. Also, last night when I was half asleep, I heard her come into my room calling for me. Then, when she saw that the lights were off and I was sleeping, she left. So I guess she did try, or maybe I'm just making excuses for her. Anyways, it is the next morning. We've barely said 2 words to each other. I'm in my room and wondering, would I be overreacting if I just got an e-visa and went to France? I truly am in disbelief of what happened last night. I'm numb and it's extremely awkward between us. I feel like going to France would alleviate the uncomfortableness for now, but if we are going to stay friends, it would be hella awkward later. The thing is, I already once broke up with her, and we didn't talk for 6 months. And you're speaking as though you guys are dating.
Right. It's really being like, it's really giving like, but this is your partner. And that's why this is so absurd.
It took months of her groveling and our mutual friends involved for me to even hear her out. So I'm just confused as why she's risking me breaking up with her again. So
Wait, I know why. Because you're exhausting.
You're also not dating. It's not breaking up.
Oh my God. She's risking it because it's not a risk. She's like, that would be great if this person left me alone.
Yeah.
Oh.
So am I overreacting for all of this? And would I be overreacting even more if I go to France? Edit. The amount of people calling me attracted to the same gender or a predator. WTF, we are both straight and both had boyfriends before.
You literally said breaking up.
Right.
That's not an assumption.
I also think the majority of y'all don't understand our friendship dynamics. I don't think you understand your friendship dynamics.
Yeah.
We are closer than the stars and the moon.
No, you're not.
Our phone passwords are each other's birthdays. We share social media accounts. We're on call 24/7. We share social media accounts. We're on call 24/7 and even sleep on call. Heck, we even have access to each other's credit cards on Apple Pay just in case. It's just my logic is if we were on a trip, we would share rooms. Obviously to save money. Owns the house.
There's no money to be saved.
The house.
What is like on the electric bill?
Right.
Like
And if we already sleep on call every day, how is it any different with me physically there? I also just want to say I'm a very emotional person. I've noticed. I can't help but cry even at the smallest things. It's not a tactic I use to manipulate people, at least not intentionally. I went to therapy when I was in 11th grade, and it basically had something to do with the fact that my parents were very absent in my life. I was raised by nannies. So crying was the only way I knew how to get attention. So you are using it as a slight manipulation tactic, and you are aware. I truly am not doing it on purpose, and oftentimes am actually ashamed of how easily I cry. We have some comments. Commenter 1. You may want to consider therapy. I don't think this is regular best friend behavior. We have a reply. Totally not. Troubled rich girl. Commenter 2. OP, you legit have problems that you need to deal with professionally. You are needy and clingy. To a point where it is not normal and very concerning. It's so bad I thought this was a joke post because you are overreacting to a point where it is not okay, and I don't know if you are just so spoiled or are we about to witness a Lifetime movie situation.
wow.
And we have more, but how you feeling?
Oh my God. Is this, I don't even know if this could be classified as like rich people problems. This is just like,
I feel as though maybe the like always getting her way could be classified that way, but I still think this is well beyond anything like that.
oh yeah, that could be right. Well, she's just used
Like
to
demanding like, I want it now.
Mommy, I need it now. She's Veruca Salt.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's what I was going for.
I want the squirrel now, Daddy. You can't reason with someone once they're in this state, I
Yeah.
don't think. Like, there's no working around it. There's no working through it. It's just like, you've got stuff to figure out. You're going to have to figure it out without me, I guess.
We have an update. She asked what I wanted for dinner, and I said rice, and I thought we were going to order in, but she began cooking. She cooked in silence, and we ate in silence, and then she did the dishes in silence. Neither of us said sorry. I tried making conversation multiple times, but she wasn't receptive. I even poked her armpit.
Like she's a specimen of some kind?
What? Is that your failsafe where things really go to like DEFCON 2?
That's, yeah.
Did you tell your therapist
That's the
that
parachute. Yeah.
Ooh. This was just getting too awkward. So I submitted a visa app, and I should be getting it in 2 days. I called my brother, and he'll be there to pick me up at the airport in France. My mom doesn't know yet, and I'll have to come up with some stupid excuse as to why I'm leaving London. You should tell her you poked your friend's armpit.
Yeah. I poked my friend's armpit and it ruined the whole trip. I'm sorry, everybody.
Because she didn't want to
I'm
snuggle
sorry,
me
Mom.
in bed. If she ever found out the truth, I think she would never let me talk to my best friend again.
Not your best friend!
As for my best friend, she doesn't know I'm leaving yet, and I'll be doing it when she's at school. So healthy. I'm also packing up a duffel bag for today and moving to a friend's dorm while I wait. My best friend thinks it's just a one-day sleepover. I'll let her know once I'm on the plane or something, but yeah. I'm not going to end our friendship over this because I always told myself if I do break up with her again, it'll be the last and final time, and she won't ever hear from me again.
Oh, no.
I just want to be sure that this is the end, and I don't think it's there yet. It'll take some time for me to forgive her, but I think I can do it. And that's the end of that.
Enjoy France, girl.
Yeah. Are you gonna stay in the same room with your brother, too? You gonna snuggle him?
Yeah, you're gonna go to the hotel, the front desk, the concierge, and be like, so who will you be providing for
Who's
me to
your-
sleep with tonight? And they're like, oh, we do not do this.
Who's your designated snuggler here?
Yes, I'm looking for a snuggler.
They must
get
be
your mind
okay
out of
with
the
me
gutter.
poking their armpit.
Yeah. Yes.
They're
Is
a little
this
grumpy.
The snuggler hotel.
I don't want to marry my boyfriend anymore.
Uh-oh.
Not that he, 28 male, wanted to marry me, 28 female anyway. He's stated marriage is like a noose around the neck. Cool. I was absolutely in love with this man. We have such a beautiful child together. I wanted to marry him because I wanted to show my absolute commitment. Commitment, I thought he reciprocated, but over time, I just see that I was delusional. By the way, this comes from Theta, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, after our child was born, I saw him following a lot of thirst trap girls on TikTok. I told him how much it hurt me, especially when my body doesn't look great anymore after pregnancy. My self-esteem was at a low point, mostly hormones, but seeing that didn't help. I asked him to unfollow them and not engage with that content. Every time I build my confidence up and accept my new body, I would see him following more girls. I would remind him, he would unfollow, and I had to start building up my confidence again. For a while, it seemed good until he had to use my phone for work since his broke. I offered him my phone since he drives for work and I wanted him to have a way to communicate in an emergency. Months later, I logged back into my private TikTok. The likes and follows. It was hundreds of girls. He was logged into my private account on his phone, knowing I was checking in on his account from my end. I confronted him. Told him with the lengths that he went to try and hide this, him doing it over and over, knowing it hurt me, I consider it cheating and I won't tolerate it again. He agreed, promised not to do it again, and we moved on. Things were looking up for a bit. I'm losing a lot of the baby weight. I had time to work on my appearance again. Things were feeling a bit more normal again. Reader, I'm sure at this point you're screaming at me, run! It's gonna happen again! Yeah, I was almost there. And you would be right. I found his Twitter in my recommended. He told me he didn't have Twitter when I asked. He was following and liking again, but I now saw him commenting. I had it. I told him, and he just said, I don't get it. I just see it as corn. And after back and forth, I told him I don't want to be with him anymore. Maybe you could, have that kind of conversation when you first is brought up. Oh, well, this is how I see it. I don't see it as, I want these girls in a relationship. I just see it as corn, which different couples have different feelings about. But after all this time, OP is explaining how it makes her feels, and then he's just like, I don't get the problem is. Like, come on, man.
Man,
I
and
see
they
where
have
you're
a
coming from,
kid together.
Yeah.
but I don't.
Right. It's like, I know you've told me so many times, but like, why is this a problem? Like, that's crazy. The only reason why I'm staying is that I will be danged if I don't get to see my son every day and he doesn't get to see his father every day. Now we are back in the growth phase, but dang it, it's been weighing on me every day. I have moments where I feel happy and confident, but I just remember these women and how I look nothing like them. In moments where I look at him lovingly, happy with our growth, it's tainted thinking, what new way is he hiding his regular use to these women? Him calling me pretty or beautiful feels like a lie. There are moments where we are playing with our son, and I'm wondering if it'll be the last time we do that. Seeing my boyfriend on his phone, fixated to the point where he can't even hear me talking to him, I'm wondering if his attention is on another woman. Yeah, honestly, this is so sad because it's all the like highs and lows, and it's like just because it can get better a little bit doesn't mean that like it's worth continuing.
Yeah.
I'm grieving the me that didn't know any of this. I wish I was still oblivious. I wish I could just forget all of it, still blissfully in love with him and our little family. I wish I no longer agreed with him when he said marriage would be like a noose around his neck. And there are some comments. One commenter was downvoted and says, your insecurity is not his fault, although he still should not have lied to you. I feel like you two did not communicate it correctly, and just like him, I would see it as corn, which shouldn't be a problem as long as he still genuinely appreciates you. I could see why that was downvoted a bit.
Yeah, I think it's coming from a place of like, I get what they're trying to say in terms of the like, sure, there is a certain amount of insecurity here that like other people can never control the amount of insecurity you have
Right.
about something.
Right.
But again, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of other stuff going on here as well of like, if that insecurity has been communicated and like things
Yeah.
were agreed upon and then you still went back on that thing, it's like that's where it gets into like,
Right.
you know.
Right, because it's always the kind of thing where it's like, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to insecurity, it's like you are really the only one that can actually build yourself up. Like you're the only one that can, I guess, kind of do something about it. People can definitely support you and contribute to that, but you still sometimes would have to have your own like self-love. But in this situation
Yeah, it's like
specifically,
the context is still.
yeah, like she did communicate that insecurity with
Exactly.
him, and he seemingly didn't do anything to reassure her that he does still like her.
Exactly. And somebody says, like, Duchess Cassandra says, I don't know, she set a boundary that he agreed to. And it's like, yeah, that's
true.
the thing, right?
Yeah, he
and-
kept going
yeah.
against it. But Obi responds to that, and I agree. My self-esteem is on me, but seeing him, the man I gave my heart and soul to, ruined my body for, actively seek out and hide his interactions with these women hurts. To see comments makes me wonder if he's messaging these women or paying these women to see more. Would he F these women if given the chance? To continue doing so after I explicitly told him I consider it cheating is not hurt done unintentionally. I'm guilty of wanting to feel enough for him for letting that affect the way I view my body. My self-esteem is on me, but my lack of trust in him is on him and his actions. So the same commenter says, I overread the commenting part, my bad, but what if doesn't really help. He is addicted to corn. Maybe he needs therapy to get away from it. Girls posting themselves as thirst traps mostly don't even reply, nor would they ever interact with the men physically. Have you tried asking him if he does not feel fulfilled, spicily related? OP responds, it's okay, and yeah, the what-ifs are definitely hurting progress, but I can't help that my mind is wondering just how deep this goes. And while
Guys.
most don't comment back, the possibility is always there.
Guys, okay, you know no FAP.
I don't.
Okay.
No
what are you
F-
about to say?
No FYP.
No FYP is really clever, Sophia.
Thank
well
you.
done. Well done, darling. You keep up the good work back there. I like that.
I don't get it, but good
no
job.
FAP is like
Sophia.
when you don't do like you don't watch corn or anything, and you don't like
Oh, it's like a
you don't
a-
like you know
almost like a dry January kind of
yeah
situation.
yeah, but for
But
like
with corn.
The entire year.
for the gooners.
What does it stand for? Maybe maybe I'll figure it out.
Well,
on my
anyway,
own.
I just had a clever idea, but that's
Nice.
all. Okay.
Good job, Sophia. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
We have discussed his needs at length, and while I'm working on my end to make sure he's satisfied, it's hard to maintain at times. Part of which is because I'm continuing to try to meet his needs when my trust in him has been obliterated. And now this is responding to a longer comment about corn addictions. OP says, thank you. Seeing these comments about corn regular use changed my perspective. For context, he's an amazing dad. Started working super early mornings, 3 a.m. to 1 p.m., so he can spend time with his kid. He's helping me learn Spanish so we can teach our son to be bilingual. He will help me out with no questions asked. This is his first real relationship, and we ended up having our kid before our first anniversary. Before anyone comments, we have been friends for over 10 years. So he's navigating a relationship for the first time and parenthood at the same time. And since our last discussion on this, he has corrected behaviors I didn't even touch on. He started complimenting my body more, initiating more, giving me time to work on my self-care, nails, skincare, hair care, etc. so I can start feeling like myself again. He started watching porn where the women look more like me. Deleted socials where there are thirst traps, etc. All of which I didn't explicitly ask for. When I say absolute commitment, I'm here throughout the thick and thin. I absolutely believe a relationship can recover from most anything if both are willing, and we are. We both see now that our relationship needs to be strong for our son, and we will do what it takes to make it. And there are some comments. Bitter Pill Pusher 2 says, you love the man you want him to be, not the man he is. You know what you should do.
The commenters are always so fascinating and a little bit funny on these.
Yeah.
I love the person. I like to imagine that this person just scrounges Reddit and on every single post is like, you know what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know what you
Like,
need to do.
Yeah.
Just
it's
sort
like,
of a vaguely cryptic.
Right. It feels so ominous.
They're like,
too.
no, I actually, that's why I'm here. You know what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I was
Right.
actually asking a question to Reddit.
Yeah. Plain Rosemary says, exactly. You can't marry a fantasy. If you're unhappy and he violates your boundaries, why stay? The baby weight is not the problem here. An international fee, $22.55. You could try couples therapy, but honestly, I don't think he's worth it. And as the mother of a 19-year-old who has had a lot of revelations about her dad, your kid will not benefit from parents who live together but aren't happy together. He cheated on you, you told him not to do it regularly, and he dismissed you each time. I don't think he will change. And there is an update. But before we get into it, yeah, honestly, I kind of feel that way. Because, like, in one of her comments, she was like, this is his first relationship. Like, you know, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and I remember seeing things one time where it's like, oh, like, it was videos of people trauma dumping online. And it was like, I'm going through this hard thing, but I keep reminding myself that, like, it's their first time living too, you know? So it's like, of course they're going to make mistakes and whatever. And it's like, okay, but let's look at that in the opposite perspective. It's OP's first time living and she's not doing these things. You know what I mean? So it's like, just because it's someone's first time, like, going through a relationship or having certain, I don't know, feelings or experiences doesn't mean that you have to just put up with it and be okay with it, because you're bringing it up and trying to fix it. And I mean, it seems like he's doing things now, but for a while he was being very dismissive of you. So everyone was right. It would just continue to happen constantly, over and over, until I reached a point where when I saw it again, I just felt numb. I started giving love to myself, focusing on exercising, diet, creating art, spending time with my son. Eventually, I decided I couldn't be with him anymore, and I left. Get this. Our son is almost 3, and when he was begging for me back, he said, I'm sorry, it's just hitting me that we have a son. OP says, effing what? Anyway, I have 100% custody, and I'm thriving.
This is awesome.
I wish I took y'all's advice way sooner. I was so naive in thinking he would change. So here's to loving life. And there are some more comments. Commenter says, yep, and the plus side is your son won't have his cheating, irresponsible butt as a primary role model. And OP says, this was the big realization at the end of it all. He has a poor male role model, but by me saying I'm a bad role model as well. That love is tolerating disrespect and accepting less than the bare minimum. I love him enough to put my fears of solo parenting aside. Yeah, that's honestly a really big thing too. Like, if you don't like what someone's doing in a relationship, but you, like, don't know if you want to leave or stay, imagine teaching your kids that it's okay to do that, or that it's okay to be treated that way, you know?
Yeah, and he's got the little kid scrolling on his feed too.
Yeah, literally.
It takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
And she slayed it up.
Good job, dude. Another commenter says, congratulations on your independence. Your ex sounds like a real piece of work. and it is obvious that you and your kiddo are thriving without him. Also, he's just now realizing you have a child together. Did he think you had a dog together for the last 3 years? Opie says, my jaw dropped when I heard him say this. Like, what? He later tried to say that our son is just now getting a personality and it was hard for him to feel fatherly instincts. Blah, blah, blah. But really, all parents can see the personality from very early on. His problem is he decided to not connect with his son until it seemed the relationship was going to end. And another commenter says, how'd you get the full custody? Opie says he gave it willingly. Well, I'm not surprised by that, honestly. Another commenter says, I remember your post. I'm so glad you have found a way to honor and value you. You deserve honest and compassionate love. I wish nothing but the best for you in this new chapter. Opie responds, you don't know how many times I went and read the comments of that post every time it happened again. Y'all really were there for me more than y'all could count.
That's very nice.
And that is the end of that story. My jealousy ruined my partner's bromance with his best friend.
Stop being jealous.
Where do I even begin? I, 30 male, have been with my partner, Luigi, 29 male, for 13 years now. We met in high school as sophomores and juniors in 2012, even though we didn't go to the same school. Luigi was the bad boy, always ditching class to come to mine with his friend.
Luigi is a bad boy.
Yeah.
What'd he do? I won't make
Okay. It's been amazing overall. We even bought a house together in 2019 at 23 and 22 and couldn't be prouder. Luigi and I aren't your typical flamboyant guys either. We're two geeky, chunky, lovable bros. Most people think I'm straight until I mention my boyfriend or until they really get to know me. By the way, this comes from Galindo125 on the Charlotte Dober YouTube subreddit, but if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, turning 30 gave me a different perspective about myself and what this next chapter means. We're not married, even though we have a house because of the vid. The next year pushed things back. Now I'm going back to college. We're getting new jobs, new us, and I want to fix my wrongs and propose again to the love of my life. My wrong has to do with Luigi's best friend, Elliot, 29 male. They've been friends since they were 5. They call each other brothers. Luigi obviously being and Elliot being straight.
Obviously.
When Luigi and I first got together, he told Elliot, and Elliot's reaction was anger that Luigi hadn't told him earlier. Elliot even stopped talking to Luigi for about a year.
What?
My senior prom, Luigi and I went together and ran into Elliot and his girlfriend Brandy, same grade as me. Brandy and I weren't friends, but we knew each other from the hallway. After that, Luigi and Elliot patched things up. We never hung out as two couples, mostly because Brandy went to university a town away, but occasionally we'd double date when she came back. Their friendship was super close, like bros being bros. They'd go on long drives, pick each other up, have dinner at McDonald's or Chipotle. I actually liked Elliot back then. He was an amazing friend to Luigi. The issue actually started with Brandy. She'd get annoyed that they'd hang out so much or that Luigi would third wheel. At that time, I was working swing/afternoon shifts with no weekends off, so I didn't see it as a problem. Luigi is super social and hates being home. I even played designated driver to pick them up from bars because I wanted them safe. I truly didn't have a problem, but Brandy did. And it's fair, she voiced her feelings. Luigi would even tell me sometimes, Brandy doesn't want me there. Can you come pick me up? Dang, that's awkward.
Okay.
It's like, dude, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go, man.
You just can't be here.
Yeah.
That's weird.
By around 2018, Brandy and Elliot were looking for houses, but struggled to find the right one. Meanwhile, Luigi and I found ours in 4 months and moved to the other side of the city, still close enough to visit family. About a month after we moved in, Luigi told me, good news, we got familiar neighborhoods. Elliot and Brandy bought a house 5 blocks away. And Elliot apparently joked, you can't get rid of me that easy. And at first, it made me raise an eyebrow, but I tried to be happy for them. A few weeks later at work, a coworker showed me a Facebook post Elliot made. It thanked Brandy for sticking with him and then had a whole paragraph thanking Luigi, saying he loves him more than anything, etc. Brandy got a sentence and Luigi got a whole tribute.
I think that Elliot needs to reckon with some stuff.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. Even Luigi thought it was weird when I brought it up. The fact that coworkers who didn't know Elliot noticed made me think, what is going on? After that, when we'd hang out more, I started noticing little things, like them joking, don't make me pants you, and if I do, make sure your hot dog hits my face kind of stuff. What?
The thing is that I don't think this would necessarily mean anything. I think there is a world where it could be just their type of humor. It's like
Sure.
more, spicy.
Sure.
However, to do that in front of your partner is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would honestly hope, like, if that is their humor, I would hope you would do it in front of the partner too. So it's not like, oh, we only do that not around.
That's,
you know what I mean?
Preferably, I'm sure OP wants it not at all.
Well, sure. Yeah. But like,
I'd at least keep it in front of everyone.
Right, like not try to keep it a secret. But I feel like if it were their humor, then Luigi would be making a lot of those jokes back. I mean, he might be with this last, like, them joking this, but I don't know. I feel like Luigi would explain that to OP.
Yeah.
That's
He'd
just
be
their
like,
humor.
that's just how we joke.
Yeah. So I don't know. It felt different, and I started seeing what Brandy was seeing. I couldn't hide it. I stopped laughing at their jokes, and I started to dislike Elliot.
He's like, dang it.
Yeah.
Brandy doesn't just suck.
Yeah. She's right.
Ooh.
Dang. That is for about all of 2019 and 2020. And bam, just like that, Elliot is at our place crying, destroyed. Brandy had been cheating on Elliot.
No.
So she does
Oh, she
suck.
sucks again.
That's
right
why
back. Right back to it.
Yeah, and that's why she was so, like, skeptical, because she was projecting.
She's projecting.
No. The message and the text were all there on her phone. He worked remote, so she was remote at home and I guess had other ideas, but messages even saying, I can't decide between Elliot and you. I felt horrible for Elliot, and all that anger turned, and I felt pity and sad for him. Dang, I'm here thinking all this stuff, and behind closed doors, this is what was happening. Maybe it was just all in my head. But nah, that went out the window when he forgave her and took her out of the country. What? He forgave her and
Where?
was like, let's go on a trip?
Let's leave the country.
And this was as a sorry to her for not being there.
For not being there when she was cheating on him?
And here's they got engaged on their trip.
Oh
my gosh. What?
That's a terrible idea.
Those feelings of pity immediately went to stupidity for him, because why? What for? So now I started asking myself, what is he doing? And the wedding is in 2022. Oh my gosh. Okay, fast forward to 2022 in the wedding. Dude.
Boy.
Luigi is Elliot's best man, and well, whatever. I didn't like it, but what was I supposed to do? Tell Luigi no? That's not me, LOL, but I made it clear to Luigi that I didn't care to hear anything about Elliot's wedding planning issues and whatever, and would only listen to Luigi's struggles in the wedding. I went to the ceremony and congratulated the seemingly happy couple. Sat my butt down and looked pretty until Luigi was ready to leave. The car ride home, he tells me, ...
Oh, man.
So, okay, you be Luigi. You ready?
His mom told me something weird.
What did he say?
Well, that she's happy that Elliot is married and is happy that Luigi could be Elliot's best man. And Luigi, you'll always be part of the family. This should have been your wedding with Elliot instead.
Ah!
What?
Everyone was behind it.
What?
So, Elliot's mom thinks you should be with him?
Yeah, it would have been us two.
Well, god effing dang. Wasn't that just a old 1-2 to the ego? I've met this lady before, and she knows that Luigi has a boyfriend and still thinks that they should be the ones together. So now not only am I seeing things, but coworkers, parents, and also some friends. I didn't state because it was a few close friends that pointed things out and even sat down with Luigi to talk. It always ended with everyone else trying to make something out of nothing because he just wasn't seeing what everyone else was. Just two friends of being friends. At this point, I really didn't like Elliot. I even told Luigi, don't mention Elliot to me unless you absolutely have to. Luigi understood and stopped bringing him up. I wasn't hiding my dislike, but deep down, I realized why. I truly believed Elliot could make Luigi happier than I could. In another universe, maybe it would have been them.
Oh, man.
That turned my dislike into hatred. Not because I thought Elliot was, but because I thought that he liked Luigi specifically. And maybe that's why they stopped talking years ago. Elliot had feelings and felt hurt when Luigi got a boyfriend. Yeah, true. They stopped talking for like a year after they got together.
Mm-hmm. And you pointed that out. You said, why was he so upset?
Oh my gosh. They eventually grew distant again. By 2023, I went on vacation to Mexico to see family I haven't seen in years.
Not even 12 hours after I left, Luigi texted me, "Is it okay if me and Elliot hang out?" And I told him, "I don't care, but it's weird that you haven't seen him in 2 years and now you're making plans because I'm gone." And they hung out for dinner and drinks and the next day too. But when I came back, Luigi asked Elliot to hang out again and Elliot blew him off. Back to not talking. Wow. So Elliot was really like, "I hear your boyfriend's out of town. Can I come?" Oh man. We're flashing forward to 2024, present day. I'm doing better. Horrible jobs over those past couple years and loss of money in between. And me and Luigi got robbed and haven't recovered from it. And it's been a couple of years now. Yikes. But, we are moving forward and making changes in our life. Looking back, I turned 30 in 2025 and I started reflecting and to become ashamed of myself and my actions on one thing. How things went down with Elliot and I. I started getting told from Luigi just comments of, "I miss a guy friend," or "I miss my brother," "I miss Elliot." And this time again, it was different. I still can care less for Elliot's goofy butt, but Elliot was being a bad friend to Luigi, and that was starting to piss me off more. Through that time, Luigi would reach out to him and ask to hang out, and Luigi would always either say, A, he was busy, yet he would post about being at home, a club, or BSing with people, or B, make the plans just to say that he was busy, yet still post about being at the club, or C, make the plans just to ditch him.
That's so not cool.
Yeah, come on,
That's really
dude.
not cool. I think Elliot is so deeply in love with Luigi
Yeah,
and doesn't want to admit it,
yeah.
that he's trying to put him at arm's length because he knows that Luigi is with OP.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't even bear to be in Luigi's presence, that I just need him to hate me to make it easier.
Yeah, like the only time I can be around is if OP is gone and I can pretend that they're not together.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, yikes.
Dang.
And it pissed me off that Elliot was treating Luigi like this, even though Luigi just wanted his best friend back. So I started asking Luigi questions again and letting Luigi know that whatever feelings towards Elliot are past me. I even sat Luigi down and apologized to him that I let my own jealousy and insecurities get the best of me. The fact that I also let other people influence me. Didn't mean that I still don't like Elliot really, but more that I want to improve myself as well. I've been thinking about marriage with Luigi, and well, as much as I can say that, I couldn't really move forward without apologizing to Elliot. Not saying he's in the party or whatever, but just to move forward because I'm now more confident in myself than I was those past years of anger and dislike with myself. Even lost about 50 pounds in all those years and working on it. And you could work on listening to more full episodes of stories just like this one. Just go to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Story Time.
Do it.
Do it. But there is a little bit more to the story. So at this point, if I do reach out and apologize to Elliot, it is out of my hands now. And whatever issues Luigi and Elliot got, they don't need any approval, but can all just be friends again on my part because my best interest is Luigi as well, and I'm sure we are for each other. So am I an a-hole if I reach out to Elliot and apologize to him? I'm not planning on letting Luigi know of this. I want it to be from me, not from Luigi or a heads up. I also fully don't expect Elliot to accept me either or forgive. I just want to text and reach out that in my part, I'm apologizing for my actions and we can be literally civil for Luigi and their friendship. Luigi has told me it's so weird to grieve someone that you know is alive 5 blocks away. So what am I? And that's the end of that story.
I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be the a-hole for doing that.
No.
Don't think
I don't know if it's the best move.
Yeah, I still don't think you should.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be the a-hole.
No.
But it's just like maybe like that's not the right move to do.
It just feels like you're not in the place to apologize.
Yeah,
Like-
it's like you weren't really involved in this relationship. You actually took as
Yeah.
as far a step back from it as you
Right.
could. So I think it would be kind of weird to receive a text message from someone who like really never hung out or talked to you.
Yeah, like I could really understand. I can understand wanting to being
Yes.
like I just
Yeah, it's
I
coming
want
from a
to-
good place.
right, like I want to put things out there like ways I could be better, I want to be better in the future and like just to have a relationship with Elliot. But like again, it's like I feel like OP deserves an apology.
Yeah.
Because like he was literally at Elliot's wedding with his boyfriend Luigi
Mm-hmm.
and
Elliot's mom came up and was like, I thought you guys were going to get
Thought
married.
you guys were going to be up there, which is an insane thing to say at someone
At
else's
all.
wedding. Yeah.
And then in front of OP, too, is like.
Well, no, OP wasn't there. So Luigi told OP in the car afterwards. Yeah. I don't even know if OP went to the wedding.
He did.
He did?
Yeah, he
Okay,
just wasn't
okay.
like in the party. But,
I got you.
But dang, man. Yeah. OP, you're being very, very nice. But I think they deserve to put, or they need to put in some effort into this too.
Yeah. Not you.
Yeah.
But that's the end of that story, folks.
Yes, it is.
My boyfriend told me to leave him alone. So I slept with another man.
Well, you got what you wanted, boyfriend.
Me, 28 female, and my boyfriend, 28 male, have been together for 8 years. Last month, I brought up the topic of marriage. We have been together for 8 years, so I'm past all of the passive hints. I bluntly asked him if he ever thought about us getting married. Honestly, I just wanted to get a grasp on his thoughts on marriage because it had come to mind that we've never spoken about it. I remember us just briefly stating that we both would like to get married one day, and if we are meant to be, then we would. That's a really vague conversation.
You'll just like you'll wake up and be married one day.
I don't know. If it's meant to be, we will.
The little fairies will just marry you at the nighttime.
Also, it's been 8 mother effing years, so I would like to know where this is going. By the way, this comes from OK Bluebird 2740 on the Charlotte Joe Bray YouTube subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. After asking him, he looks at me with a scrunched up, mean mugging face and says, "Why would I marry you after you cheated on me?"
Whoa, what?
Why are you still together if you think that? I was truly confused about what the heck he was even talking about because I know I never cheated. So I asked him what he was talking about. Apparently, he was talking about the beginning of our relationship. So backstory to that. We had been going out for about 6 months and everything was going great. It was a Friday evening and I was off that day, so I was running errands. Suddenly, my phone was blowing up with tons of Facebook notifications, calls, and texts. I mean, it was blowing up so bad to the point where I couldn't even use it because I was getting so many notifications at once. My homegirl ends up pulling up to my house because she hasn't been getting a hold of me. My first thought was somebody had passed away because of how urgent she came through. She was asking me if I knew, and I saw it because it's been going around Facebook. I told her I couldn't even open up my phone because it's going off like crazy, so no.
Whoa.
I don't know what she was even talking about. She looks at me all sad and hesitated a bit, but then she just handed me her phone. Someone had posted my boyfriend giving oral to another man.
What?
Well, that's an interesting layer of complexity to this story.
So that's not OP cheating. Hello.
But also, we don't even know if he was cheating.
Deep fake?
Like if that was
Well,
like,
no. Was this
Deep
taken
fake?
This is
no,
like
I'm saying was
before?
this taken
Deep.
before? No. No. Was this taken before the, relationship? Because Opie said it was
Yeah.
early days. It was selfie pictures like he was the one who took them himself, and there were so many. I mean, this is awful, I think, for both parties.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be posting that. Hope I like it. There's a possibility that he did cheat, which in that case he sucks too.
Yeah.
But never okay
Well, we
to
know
share
that.
these pictures around. In that moment, I immediately tried calling my boyfriend, but he didn't answer. I texted him that we need to talk. I wasn't going to break up with him at the moment. I just wanted to talk about the situation because I needed to know the truth. I didn't care if he was attracted to the same gender or bi, and I would have 100% understood if he was still in the closet or a DL or whatever. Because I know how hard it is for men to, especially to be open about their spicy identity. I needed to know if I was just a cover-up, if he was bi, etc. I didn't even bother to see who posted the pictures, but his response was, "Don't talk to me."
Whoa.
I figured, okay, yeah, he's probably embarrassed or ashamed. So I told him that I would still be here when he was ready to talk, that I don't think differently of him, and that if he can tell me the truth, I wouldn't judge him. But he kept telling me to leave him alone. This went on for 2 days. OP's incredibly kind
Yeah.
and accepting and wow.
Yeah. For real.
And just forgiving. That's maybe too forgiving.
Or patient, perhaps.
Yeah. I didn't hear from him. He wasn't picking up my calls, ignoring my texts. I texted him again saying that I'm still here for him. And he finally messages me back saying to leave him alone. And he doesn't want to see or talk to me. I took it as him breaking up with me because he's been MIA for a couple of days, ignoring me, and finally hits me back saying that. I just chopped it up as a loss and moved on. Mind you, we were only going out for 6 months. That's not nothing. That's not nothing. I don't
Yeah.
know if I would be like, hey, are we done? Like, okay, is this a
Right.
breakup?
Right. Yeah.
Well, my homegirls take me out the next day to cheer me up because I was being pestered and semi-bullied online for being in a relationship with him. What? Why? People whom I never met were calling me on Facebook Messenger and asking me if I knew and how did I not know, basically trying to get the tea. I didn't have any to tell, and even if I did, I wasn't going to ever. It didn't bother me, and it still never bothers me now. Anyways, I go out with my girls and I meet a guy. It wasn't anything special. I thought he was cute, and he was trying to pursue me. So I got his number, and the next night he took me out and we hooked up.
Dang.
We weren't looking for an exclusive status, just a one-night stand, really. But literally, guess who freaking hits me back up? My boyfriend, LOL. He said he needed to talk to me and that he was sorry for basically ghosting me. We met up and he tells me the story. I'm not going to share on here because I don't feel like that's relevant. I felt really bad for him and honestly, I still really liked him. So yeah, I continued to go back out with him. What's the story?
Yeah. I feel like
Did he cheat on you or not?
Right. Like we at least need to know like if this was like shared consensually or something like that. Like if the video was posted.
Yeah, clearly not shared consensually. Or I
Like
see
if
what you mean.
you know, like if he knew that the video was gonna be posted or like you know. what I mean?
I don't think. I doubt he knew.
Yeah,
that
if
the
he-
video was-
if-
I probably
if-
sent it to someone
Yeah.
that he was, probably the person who was in the photo with
Yeah,
him,
and
and
we
then
need to
that
know
person
when that
posted everything.
happened, too.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
But-
was this cheating or not?
But I do wonder too. I mean, since OP seems so nonchalant about like going on a date with another person, then like maybe they weren't official 6 months in. That's why
Well,
it's
who's calling him her
OP's
boyfriend?
Kind of like,
You
oh,
said we've been
shoot,
together
true.
for 6 months. I honestly think OP's a little bit the a-hole.
Yeah. Why is she just? She's just saying that like, yeah, I just like hooked up with someone else, like easy peasy. But I mean, maybe they had some sort of weird like agreement because
I
she's
don't
not
know, like-
freaking out about the boyfriend.
I just think 3 days. He says, "Don't talk to me." He literally has just been like, we don't know if he's cheating yet. So I'm gonna operate under like we just don't
Like,
know.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know if he's cheated. Could be something before the relationship. We have no idea any of the information. He's freaking out. Says, "I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Don't talk to me." I don't know if I would take that as a breakup and then go hook up with someone else.
I would definitely would not.
I would be like, I'm gonna give him a week
Yeah.
and then be like, "Hey, are we done? Is this it?" And then if he
Right.
says, "Don't talk to me," I'd be like, "Okay, well,
So then that's
hey,
on
that's
him.
it."
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be me personally. I did tell him about my one night stand. He was hurt, but he said he understood. We have been together since, and we never really spoke about it again. So fast forward to today. As of now, it's been weird, like so weird. The point I can't stand to be in the same room as him. I resent talking to him because I feel like he's trying to find an excuse not to get married, and saying that I cheated on him gives him that excuse. I'm really sad, and I do feel guilty now for sleeping with another man. He states that I should have waited because he was going to come back. Dude, you guys should break up. I don't know. I think he gave me my answer about the marriage part. But now it's like, why are we even together? And why did he now just say that? And there is an update.
Yeah, that's
We don't know what happened still. We still don't know if he cheated. Because I feel like she would have been like, "You cheated on me.
Yeah, like so it shouldn't be a problem because
Yeah,
it wasn't
you
just
did it.
You did it first.
You cheated." And
Yeah.
then, I, in your eyes, cheated. In my eyes, I
Yeah.
didn't.
But yeah, that definitely is like, why are you still together? Like, why is he using that as an excuse? Like, if you
Yeah.
were mad about that, then why are you still dating? First of all, and like, were you just planning on
Yeah.
keeping OP around?
Yeah.
Just to
for
like
indefinitely?
still date, but then not get married because of that? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I just can't marry her, but like, I'll stay with her. The
I'll
rest
stay
of my
with her
life.
forever.
Yeah.
Update. As of today, I am officially single. We spoke this morning about what's going on and what we're going to do. We decided that we should just split up.
Wow.
Yeah. He's still going to help pay the rent because we have 5 months left. And honestly, that's the least he could do. He's still leaving and staying with a friend because he claims it'll help with the process. How thoughtful. I do also have to thank you guys for backing me up and giving me a good reality check. Some of y'all were spot on too. He came to me this morning with his key. We sat down and he confessed that he had been cheating on me emotionally. Yikes. Yes, I consider that a form of cheating, but you don't consider the first thing a form of cheating?
I mean,
Did he cheat on you or not?
I truly
The first
don't
time.
know, man.
He told me how he's been on Grindr, and though he hasn't met up with anyone, he wants to though, and even almost met up with someone. He let me see the messages. So far, there's been exchanges of pictures, dirty talking, and envisioning relationships with them. He says he can't fight it and that it's not just a fantasy but an actual want. He wants a poly relationship. I mean, he cheated on you, so that's
Yeah, and then
how that
getting
works.
mad at you for cheating on him. Like, what?
He wants a girlfriend and boyfriend at the same time. He's still attracted to women, but having both feels different in a good way. These are his words, not mine. He said he didn't mean to be so mean about the marriage thing, but yes, that was like an out for him. He said he couldn't bring it to himself to cheat and doesn't want to put me in the same position as before. So he's telling me now that he's unhappy and doesn't feel like his true self. He said he wants to explore again and that he knows I won't be open to it or okay with it. Which, he's right. I've had an experimenting stage myself, but obviously that's over with. And I know for a fact I'm down for the D, not the P, and he knows that too. I said he could have told me all of that in such a different way rather than being mean about it and saying hurtful things. I mean, we've been through almost a decade with each other, through every good and bad season. I was more upset about his response because I just cared about how I envisioned us getting married. But then again, I do have to take accountability that I should have seen this coming, right? I mean, your relationship at 6 months, he maybe cheated on you. We still don't know. And then you hooked up with someone else immediately after. I wasn't a great beginning.
Yeah.
I've had an epiphany, and a lot of you guys mentioned I should be happy this happened, lol. But yes, I realized I'm grateful that this happened. Had I actually married him and we had kids and he pulled this on me, my world would spin. Or me just being Delulu and trying to change myself to a standard. By the way, you should change your life around if you're not listening to full episodes of stories just like this.
There you go.
Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is an update. I like to think of myself as an open-minded person. But please, I never now and never in the future would want to share my significant other with another person. Or straight. I also realized 8 years went by because I was so busy with school and work. Our relationship was good for the most part. We understood that we both had responsibilities other than the ones we shared, and we just went with the flow. But I'm graduating this spring now that the hard part is over. I just wanted to move on to the next stage of life. I'm more sad on the part that I let 8 freaking years go by focusing on school and work, trying to stay afloat. I recall I was happy though, so that's what matters, right? Maybe I would have seen signs, or maybe I would have mentioned marriage sooner and could have avoided years passing by. I'm sad, but I'm okay. I'm grown, and even though it has been 8 years, I know life isn't over because of that. I'm glad he's living his true self now, though. And folks, that's the end of that story.
Jeez, man.
Okay, sure.
That's just all right. Like,
Okay, yeah. I mean,
a weird story.
literally, I'm like, oh, all right. I guess, yeah, that's it.
Guess it worked out, kind of. Like,
Something worked out, I guess.
Kinda.
It kind of worked out. Well, anyway, that's the end of that story, folks.
That's the end of that story.
There you go. I told my boyfriend I won't leave him to go abroad. But now I changed my mind.
Broads, am I right?
Hey!
I-
Hi, I've been female 22 with my boyfriend 21 male for 9 months together now. We've met in uni. He's 1 year younger. I studied hard for 2 years for an opportunity to go abroad on an exchange program of 2 years. Boyfriend came in during the last 8 months. After applying for it and getting it in March, I suddenly became full of dread for many reasons. By the way, this comes from throwaway 827383838. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. It felt so scary. I didn't realize how much of a big move moving abroad was until I got it, even if I worked for it for ages. The program didn't align with what I had in mind, and I didn't realize until it was too late to back out. It hurts so much to think of leaving my boyfriend behind, even if this is a great opportunity to improve my quality of life by emigrating to a first world country. My boyfriend during this whole process was supportive and told me he didn't want to say anything that would get in the way of what I wanted. And I was so dreadful. I just told him straight up I wasn't interested anymore, and it was true. I would just let the process go down on its own. This all happened up to May. I told him I didn't want to go anymore, and I made sure to tell him why. Flash forward to 2 days ago, I started asking some people that joined this exchange program, and they all recommended it and soothed my fears. The program wasn't that difficult, and it did align with some of my expectations, and I suddenly became a lot interested and less paralyzed by the fear of the unknown. Great stuff. I changed my mind and I realized I would have to tell my boyfriend I would be going through with it since I was going to go abroad in exactly 2 months. I don't know how to tell him. I feel like I've betrayed him in a sort of way, but I genuinely wasn't interested until I asked about and I cleared my doubts about this program. I feel like I'm stabbing in the back by suddenly changing my mind, but I swear I didn't want to go until suddenly I did. That's how it goes, though.
Yeah.
I know that wanting to stay just because I didn't want to leave him behind is already stupid, and that I should always think of my future first and foremost, but I love him so much. And I feel like crying every time I think of him and of how much I love him. You haven't even left yet. And how and how he completes me and truly gets me after a string of awful relationships. My self-esteem is already so wrecked, but he healed me just by being him. I just get sent into another crying fit just thinking of leaving him behind. Girl, it's gonna be like 2 months, like, maybe 4 months, Matt.
But this
It's a
is,
semester.
she's in college, right?
Everything's so
It
important
really
in college.
is.
Yeah.
It really is. Like,
yeah.
you're 20-something.
Yeah.
Or I guess she's a senior, but still, your
Sp-
early
maybe
20s,
20,
everything is so
Yeah. Life or death.
this all of the time.
Truly. It feels like I'm abandoning him and I don't even know how to break the news to him. I know we might break up because of the long distance, even if I'm willing anything for us to stay together. I just love him so much. If you break up because you're going abroad for a semester, it maybe wasn't the one,
Yeah.
I feel like abroad for a semester? That's...
I mean, you gotta
It's not that
try out all
long.
the cuisines out there. You
yeah,
know
the
what I'm
foreign
saying?
cuisines.
Yeah, you gotta see, how they make their sausages out there, how
All
they
right.
pound their meat, how they, bake things.
Thanks, Riley.
How they bake things.
How
Yeah.
they bake things.
It's different.
I don't even have the heart to start any official visa procedure yet because I'm waiting to properly tell him first. But how can I tell him without it feeling like I'm the most vile person on earth for changing my mind so suddenly, girl? How to make it the least painful possible for him. I'm already grieving losing him. She's already grieving losing him? I don't want to hurt him more. Any advice is welcome. And there are some comments. We'll get into them. Hey, I really feel for you reading this. It's obvious how deeply you care about him, and that kind of love is rare. But I'm going to be honest with you, because I've been in your shoes. You have to go. Not because you don't love him, but because you love yourself. Amen. And right now, this chapter of your life needs to be about you. You spent 2 years working towards this opportunity. That wasn't random. That wasn't a phase. It meant something. And yes, it's scary to actually step into what you once dreamed about. It's okay that fear crept in. It's okay that you started questioning everything once the moment got real. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. The fact that you're reevaluating now after asking questions and getting new clarity shows strength. You're not flip-flopping, you're growing. You're getting honest with yourself. That's what maturity looks like. So be kind to yourself and don't beat yourself up so much about how you've handled the situation with him. This is the part of your life where you're supposed to be selfish, not in a cold or careless way, but in the deeply necessary way that lets you find out who you are. You're 22. This is your window to stretch, evolve, stumble, and transform. I've lived abroad for the last 4 years. It changed me in ways I never could have imagined. Yeah, this commenter's like,
I want this story
I
too.
lived abroad. I went to Paris for a semester.
Can I say something? This commenter's doing great though.
I agree.
I'm like, we don't even need to be here.
No,
like
this commenter
this
is
person
telling this person
handled
what you
it.
need to know. Yeah.
I do want to know how they changed abroad. though.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a little part of me that's like, oh, okay.
What happened?
What happened
What
in
did you
Paris?
do? I became a different person, a better person, me 2.0. Because I stepped away from my comfort zone and into something unknown. I didn't do that at first. I once stayed behind for a high school girlfriend instead of going away to college. We broke up anyway, and I missed an entire life I could have built. I wish I had chosen myself back then. I wish someone had told me what I'm telling you now. Tell your boyfriend the truth. Be kind, be honest, and give him space to feel whatever comes up, but don't sacrifice your future to make him comfortable. Don't hold yourself back out of guilt. You're not abandoning him. You're honoring the path you've worked hard for. If it's meant to be, maybe you two will find your way back to each other down the line. But if not, that's okay too. It means he was part of your story, but not the whole thing. Cry if you need to. Grieve, let it hurt, but go anyway. You won't regret it. I promise.
Well, hot dog.
that was a great
That was
comment.
great. Yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna head out.
Wrap it up, boys.
Can we call them in?
Jeez.
And we've got that commenter
And we
live
got them
from Paris.
right here. And they come in, they're wearing a beret.
Yeah, they're wearing a beret.
Yeah, they're eating a
I don't know if you
croissant.
could tell, but I went to Paris. That's sort of where I learned to become a better person.
And it changed my life.
And it changed my life.
Yeah, I think that commentary is exactly right, OP. One, tell your partner. Really doesn't really matter what your partner says, because the results should still be you go on
Yeah.
this trip, because it gets so much harder to travel as an adult
Yeah.
once you're out of college.
Yeah.
Like, this is, for some people, once in a lifetime opportunity to go live somewhere else.
Yeah.
So take it. You want it.
You have our approval. You have
Yeah.
our permission.
Update. I met up with my boyfriend who was very insistent to see me. I thought he missed me too. When we met, he immediately asked me if I was still going to change my mind. I was a bit relieved that he brought it up because I didn't know how to. I was honest and told him I was going, explaining my decision and everything leading up to it. I even told him I wanted to stay for us because I loved him so much, but it wouldn't be fair for any of us, a big decision or sacrifice like this. He was very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't reactive much. We joked a little bit and carried on with our hangout. He felt a bit distant. I didn't want to press him much further because I guessed he was still feeling burnt out from his recent internship. I'm not the type to nag, and I was just really happy we were hanging out. We parted ways, and the next day we didn't talk all day because he told me he was leaving our city to go to his hometown 5 hours away.
Okay.
He told you that day, he was like, I gotta go. I gotta go right now. And you're like, oh, okay. I feel like he's having a breakdown.
Yeah.
The very next day, a week ago, I woke up to a message at 8 a.m. telling me if I thought our relationship would have a future in these new circumstances. I was very panicked because he even dropped the pet names. He said, Cheryl, do you think that we have a future? And she said, what about
He said,
baby?
partner.
Or partner.
Woman. Do you think that?
Hey, woman. I told him we needed to talk on the phone. Cue 5 hours later with no response. I told him the way he switched up so suddenly is very worrying. He texted me back, sending long texts telling me he couldn't do long distance, that he was thinking of this for a while, which matches up since he was acting more distant since May. And even if he tried, he wouldn't treat me the way I deserve to be treated, that he could shift his sights on another girl. That he warned me about this the very first day we met, about an ex he couldn't get back with because of long distance. And that he loved me and that he was breaking up with me because he did love me. And if he didn't, he would just go ahead with long distance and not care as much. That we should break up now on good terms, something we wouldn't be able to do on long distance. And good luck with what I had in mind in the future. This is crazy.
You're not gonna like this.
What?
I'm not like the most angry at that.
But the
Like
thing
there's
is, it was
little
over
bits and
text.
pieces. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't like the text. Like like I do think a phone call or an in-person would have been better. Like again, we always talk about like
Yeah.
okay, just communicate the truth of how you're feeling. And I'm kind of like,
Absolutely.
you know what? If that's the case,
Cut your ties
sure. You know, then we
is
do
even,
this.
Yeah, I mean, if he's even thinking about cheating, then I guess.
That's true. That was one of those ones where I'm like, ooh, I don't know if we put that in the text, you know, in the breakup text where we're like, I think you could have just left it at
Yeah.
like, hey, I just don't think I can do long distance. I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be really tough for me. I don't think you needed to say like,
if
you
we
know,
do it, I'm probably
just
gonna
with all
cheat
of
on
these
you.
beautiful, beautiful women running around the college campus.
Couldn't do it. Oh, it is a 2-year program, and I didn't know that.
2-year
That
program.
changes a lot. We went
Change
from
the
4 months to 2
context.
years in my mind.
It does change the context, but at the same time, to me, it doesn't change the methods.
Yeah.
Like I still
agree, I
think
agree.
that it's like it changes the context, but it still is the same stuff of like talk to your partner, be truthful, da da da.
I agree. I was like, wow, girl, you're overreacting.
Yeah, no, that's
You're
fair.
not overreacting. 2 years
Yeah.
is a long time.
You're not overreacting. I still do want you
Yeah.
to have more positive self-talk towards yourself.
I agree.
But I get more of the
I agree. I still think you should go take it. I now understand why he wants to leave, cut it off. Probably should have done it in person. When I asked him why he didn't simply break up with me in person when we met instead of text, he told me he wanted a good last hangout with no drama. But I would feel so much less hurt if I was broken up with in other ways than text. And even less so if someone who had been planning for a while to break up with me had told me the very instant he started thinking of going through with it. Just feels like a blindside, even if I was expecting to break up, but not like this. During the hangout, he even asked me to come over to his house before he went back to his hometown. I couldn't because schedules didn't fit. Of course we were gonna be intimate, and this angers me more because he knew for a while that he wanted to break up with me, yet he still wanted me to come over for spicy sleep. Yikes. And there is a little bit left to this story. I think you did the best that you could do.
Yeah.
you kind of nailed all of this.
Yeah.
You know, you change your mind, people do it, and you told them when you figured it out.
And now go enjoy Bolivia or wherever you're going. I don't know.
Go enjoy Croatia.
Go enjoy Croatia.
But there's a little bit left to this story. I think you nailed it. He didn't. I was so heartbroken. Keep in mind, he told me all of this in 5 minutes. I got literally broken up with in 5 minutes. When I sent him messages that I understood why he would break up and that I'm still really heartbroken over it, I got no response. Just left undelivered. Ouch. He's still active on his Instagram account. No, that's the worst part. Liking reels and such. Ooh, but I feel so gutted. I could understand why he would break up. I was bracing for it. But the way he did it is just really breaking my heart, and I don't know if I'm even right to feel this way. It just felt like a complete discard and complete disrespect to brush over 9 months of solid relationship so easily. I'm not planning on reaching out because I know it's over. There's no point of violating his boundaries, and I can't bring myself to text someone I was head over heels in love with, so attached with, that discarded me without looking back. I know he was in his rights to break up, but I just feel so sad about how it happened. I'm dealing with it pretty hard at the moment. I have no appetite, and I can only distract myself with visa proceedings. I'm not bashing him on wanting to break up, but how careless it felt to me after 9 months together, after everything I did for him, and how much I loved him. Thank you for everyone that gave me advice. I did love him a lot, and I feel sad about all of this. I'm carrying on with my studying abroad project. I appreciate everyone that reached out and gave me a piece of their mind. Just feel like I should update on what happened. And folks, that's the end of that story.
I resent my boyfriend because he lives the life I dream of.
Jealousy is a plague to us all.
I, 23 female, have been with my boyfriend, 27 male, for the past year. He moved in with me early into our relationship because he was losing the place he was staying at. It was temporary from the beginning. He just didn't plan anything. That doesn't sound good. And I offered him a place to stay. He moved several states away to move in, only really giving up his job, as he wasn't close with his family. By the way, this comes from user StarOK7528, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, OP says, I accepted in the beginning that he wasn't going to be working. You stayed in everything. So I told him I was fine covering bills since I earned good money. Nothing significant. I've been a blue-collar worker for 3 years now, so it's enough to pay the bills. I used to earn enough to set back fun funds to spend doing various things like tattoos, expensive food, bulk crafting stuff, fun cons, and etc. OP sounds fun.
I've just saved all this money to con people.
Yeah, I'm like, who are you conning? But they do fun stuff.
Right. Conventions.
Yes. I bought him a car when he moved so he would have transportation to and from work and told him this car was a beater. So it wasn't a brand new car. I got it for cheap and it wouldn't last forever. I admit it was a crappy car. Like, I wouldn't even drive it, but at the same time, he got it for completely free. And I had to pay out of my savings. I don't mind my job. It's not something I have dreamed about like other people and their careers, but it is something that I had to pick up because my dad made me feel unwelcome in his house to the point that I just left. This kind of work helped me find an escape, a way I could pay for my own things and living space, so I just ran with it. I've mentioned wanting to go back to college numerous times over the past few years so I can get a degree in something I'll find intriguing. It is possible for me to work part-time and still attend college. My dad has offered to help with rent, but without my boyfriend working, it won't ever be a possibility as groceries and other bills completely drain my paychecks I get now working 40 plus hours a week. Working in the industry I do has made me realize I can use my intelligence in an area that has more meaning to it than what I do. At the end of the day, it's what keeps a roof over my head and food in my cat's belly. So I can't complain. That's fair. You know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, sometimes we don't love the jobs that we have, but
Right.
as long as it pays the bills and keeps
Provides.
you afloat, yeah. The issue is with my boyfriend's employment. From what I know from before he moved, he had a warehouse job earning a couple less per hour than me. I didn't know how long he had been there and assumed it had been a little bit. I kind of expected him to find the same kind of work here, but he didn't. He has not been able to stay anywhere for longer than 2 months, and that's being generous. Not to mention, he's only worked at 4 different places in the past year, all of which he either quit randomly or he got fired. At some point, yeah, I'm sorry, like that's red flag after red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like being in a relationship with someone, especially when you're moving in together, finances are very important to make sure that your other person has like a good handle of their finances or are open to you helping them with figuring out their finances. Like that's something you need.
A decent head on their shoulders, but
Yeah.
it looks like it's getting to the point where you're just paying for him.
Yeah, and he seems pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah. At some point, he started calling out a lot when he did have a job, and it was like pulling teeth to get him to go, causing him to be late, which I'm assuming contributed to his release or getting fired. His reasoning for quitting? He didn't like the jobs he had.
Oh my gosh.
At that point, I'd be like, shut up. Either
Yeah.
you keep working and you pay someone at least a percentage here,
Right.
or you're back out.
Yeah, like I get not liking your job and wanting to find a new one, but you have to have something going at some time. You know what I mean? Like you can't just take breaks in between jobs
Yeah.
because you like, I just didn't vibe with it.
This isn't a free ticket, a free ride, my guy.
Right.
In my personal opinion, it doesn't matter if you don't like the job. You have bills to pay, mouths to feed, so you earn what you can so you can get stuff done. Bingo, like we said.
Exactly.
A few months ago, when he was in between jobs, I came home from work one morning. It was a night shift, and couldn't handle the weight of everything anymore, and I broke down crying. It was quiet, but he was already awake. He stayed up all night and comforted me, asking what was wrong. Babe, what's wrong? You're working so hard. Maybe you should relax.
God, maybe you should like quit your job if you don't like it.
Yeah. I told him that I always dreamed of being a stay-at-home mom, even if that meant I had to have a job when the children didn't need me. I know it's unrealistic and traditional, but cooking, cleaning, childcare sounds a lot more fulfilling than a job could ever be. My stepdad passed away a few years ago, and I got a taste of that when I stepped up and took care of my younger siblings. And no, that's what I want for my future. I told him that he had not even attempted to take my place as the breadwinner, and I was really upset that it felt like I wasn't going to have a future, the one that I want for myself and my future kids. He seemed to understand and reassured me about the different jobs he had been applying to. For the majority of the time, my boyfriend stays home and does nothing but play video games. He used to stay up all night, claiming it was to see me when I get home, but that's slowly started to turn him into falling asleep right before I get home. We have divided up house chores to a small degree. He takes the trash out and washes the dishes. I take care of the laundry, yard work, general cleaning, and cooking. There have been times where I had to wash dishes just to cook dinner, and there have also been times that I gave up on cooking because, guess what? The dishes were dirty.
He didn't do his job.
Wow, sounds like you don't have a boyfriend. Sounds like you have a teenager.
It really does sound like it.
I also have to choose when I want to clean based on how full the trash can is, as it is overflowing, full 90% of the time. I just assume he does the same thing as me and stops picking up after the trash can gets full. My more intense emotional turmoil has happened more recently. A week or two ago, he talked about how he didn't like the job he had and was applying to different places. I got nervous and told him I'm glad he found options, but I would rather if he kept working until he got accepted somewhere else. A few days after he said that, he called me as I was about to sleep for work and said they had let him go. And he didn't state a reason. This honestly made me lose all hope in him having a stable job. He got a call back a few days ago and said he had been accepted into the stay-at-home job where he wouldn't really have to do much. I see where this is going. He's earning the same amount as he was before, so it's not a big money thing, but he has to wait a whole month before he gets his first paycheck. He told me the first thing he was going to do is buy a car. No surprise, the one I bought him crapped the bed 2 months ago, and he's been driving my dad's car and a gaming PC. Then he would help me with rent. I would put my foot down and be like, no. Stable first. You can buy your things later.
Yeah, absolutely. When he's not even paying rent, like, yeah, definitely wait till you get your fun things because, like, that's just logic.
Your priorities are way out of line, my guy.
Yeah.
Him saying that kind of shattered my heart because I've been expressing that I want a new PC. Since the one I'm using now, I've had since I was 13, maybe even younger. I've talked to him since he moved out here that I wanted to save up for a PC, but I haven't been able to since I haven't been able to put anything into savings since he moved in. I lived in a house without internet connection and a lot of other basic stuff for the first 2 years of living by myself, making do with what I had because I would rather not have internet than not have a home. I didn't see a need for a better PC when I couldn't even play games I had for it. My boyfriend lived with me in that house for a few months before convincing me to take a good deal on rent for a small house, saying he would help keep up with bills, which has happened maybe twice. Since we moved in, I relearned my love for video games on my PC, and I'm sad that a lot of the stuff I used to play, I can't anymore because my hardware is outdated. I don't know if being upset is justified or if I'm just being a jealous witch. But I cried myself to sleep last night because I come home every day to a dirty house, spend time cleaning, cooking my own food, just to go to sleep while he stays up all night. Guess what? Playing video games until he passes out. He's constantly in a call with people, even if they're sleeping. I've seen the video chats. That's insane. Who is he talking to then? I would feel somewhat proud of him for finding a stay-at-home job if I didn't express to him multiple times that I want someone who's willing to step up and take care of me financially, instead of me being the financial cushion. So, am I the a-hole for being upset that I financially paved this road for my boyfriend and he still refuses to step up or do anything? I mean, he's still working, but if he continues working at this specific job, I think I'm going to start being mean. I just honestly don't know where to go from here. He doesn't really have anywhere to go if I tell him to leave, but I'm so sad that I haven't been able to do much with my own money because it's being spent on groceries. And I'm going to tell you what to do with your own time. You can join us every single weekday by going to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and searching OK Storytime. Right now, I think we're at 71 days.
Oh, yeah. I feel like every week it just gets like one additional
It's
day.
one additional day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're at 71 days. So
And
spend your time
counting.
there. Yeah. There's a little bit left of this story.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Because, okay, it's one thing, like if you start dating someone and you want to be the person that like pays for everything and you want to like spoil your partner or whatever, and you spend all your money on them, if you choose to do that, then that's cool. You know what I mean? That's like really nice of you to do. You don't have to do that, despite what some traditions say, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's definitely crossed that point, and OP knows that. It's like, yeah, you're spending all of the money on groceries. Like, yes, he's working now, but that you are too. Like, it doesn't mean that his financial contributions, which aren't that much,
Nope.
that's like not even close to like what the like to fixing the problem.
Listen, OP, like at this point, you're making him happier than you're making yourself happier.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, what's the point? Seriously.
Yeah.
You're not enjoying your life, and you're young. You are young. You should be enjoying, like, yes, you have someone that you're like, oh, I care about them, but it seems like they don't care about you.
Yeah.
It seems like you've expressed, multiple times that, hey, I need things too. I would have a conversation with him and be like, hey, before you buy yourself something, I think, you need to prioritize money into all these things. You need to step up and, your actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you deserve better, OP. And you, at this point, you shouldn't care if, it's his life. He's an adult. He can take care of himself.
Exactly.
He's not your child,
Right.
the little baby boy. But we do have an update. I sat him down and asked him to use the paycheck he's getting on finding a new place to stay. He seemed a bit mad when I told him, which kind of made me feel better about the talk. He defended himself, saying the job he has now pays more than his old one. But I told him it isn't about that. It's about his lack of perception and support towards my dreams and goals I have already voiced, and his willingness to take my support to achieve his. Thank you to the angel that worded that so well in the comments. The sad part is, I don't even think he's going to get that check. Almost positive the job he took is a reshipping scam. Oh gosh. I hope he didn't lie about the rent money he had set back, so he still has something to move out with. But I'm not his mom, and I'm done acting like it.
There you
Good.
go.
Also, to clear things up, I'm not looking for a bankroller, someone higher class, some rich, highly wanted person, anything like that. I just want stability, really, which I had by myself before he moved in, and I was an idiot to ever give that up. Lesson learned.
You had to learn it the hard way, but you did.
Yeah.
You got there.
My boyfriend keeps controlling me, and I'm getting sick of it.
I'm sick of you.
My boyfriend and I met online, and we really started chatting, and it was really nice. We started dating officially a month after we talked continuously. He is a really nice person. By the way, this comes from Low Possession 4288, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, the thing is, my boyfriend started to control me. Initially, it was subtle, or maybe I was too in love or delusional to notice it. See, now I will say, you wait the extra months. It's, yeah.
It usually gives you a little bit better of a bird's eye view.
For example, I started a new job at this place, and my boyfriend got so upset when one of my colleagues gave me the company's merch as a welcome gift. This is actually a common practice in the company, and I tried explaining it to my boyfriend, but he was so PO'd at me. Next, he would get so angry if I changed something about myself. Like once, I went to the hair salon to get highlights. I wanted chestnut brown highlights, but somehow the hairdresser made it too yellow and light, so it was close to blonde. How do you go from chestnut to blonde? I was pretty upset with how my highlights turned out, but I just laughed it off and thought, it's alright. I'll have fun with this color for a week or two before I dye it a different color.
And there you go.
When I FaceTimed my boyfriend that evening, he was so PO'd. Not at the hairdresser, but at me for purposely dyeing my hair blonde.
It's like, your hair's so ugly. Your hair's so ugly. I hate it.
I swear it wasn't on purpose. I didn't choose blonde. I asked for chestnut brown. And then he would get so upset with me going somewhere. For example, I love going to the gym. I would just walk on the treadmill or weightlift some lightweight stuff because it makes me happy. I used to be a big girl, and going to the gym has helped me a lot to shed those weights and battle with my depression. And my boyfriend wouldn't even let me go to the gym. He would call me when I'm at the gym so many times and ask me why I went there, and he would get so upset. His reason was because he would get jealous if I go to the gym and people could see me, and he's afraid I would fall for someone there. He is so suspicious of me. One time, half an hour before my exam started, my boyfriend actually called to share screen my Instagram account because he suspected that I was having an affair with a fake follower.
Dude, when we're there, when we have like a partner accusing you of being in an affair or cheating or something, and you're not, it's like, okay, we're done. We're done.
And also could be projection.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely
he's
could be
cheating.
projection. I just think that we're done. This is too much.
Get out of here.
Get out of my mind.
It was a fake follower. I didn't even know who that person is. And then he said he trusts me, but his mom influenced him to think I was going to cheat on him. I didn't do anything to raise any kind of suspicion. I have always been loyal to him. I love him. I would call him every time during my lunch hour and fly to him during my vacation days. The thing is, these are a few little incidents that have happened. So many crazier things have happened, but it's too lengthy for me to explain it here. Recently, he started the gym. It's been about 2 months or so now, but I started to resent him because I've left doing so many things for him. I've sacrificed doing the things that I love because of him.
Never do that.
Never
do that because then you resent your partner.
Yeah, and
Just say
this boy's icky. And I've gained weight too because of it. I haven't moved around as much. I'm just constantly doing everything for him. From not going to the gym to not getting lash extensions. This might seem very small and silly, but these things give me joy, and I stopped doing them because he was always picking fights with me whenever I did so. So I stopped. But now he's going to the gym and loving it. And I hate that he is doing the things he loves, but stops me from doing them. The fact that he's going and he's still
it's
like,
ridiculous.
you can't go.
Like, y'all could go together if you were actually, I don't know. Like,
I don't like this man.
I hate him. This relationship's done.
Get
Tamara says
out
it too.
of
The relationship
here.
must end. He's not being a good partner. He's being controlling. And when you get to that point where you're sacrificing the things that you love for your partner, then you're not in a partnership anymore. He's on the top and you're on the bottom. That's where there's bad dynamic there.
Yeah.
There's a power structure.
And when I cry and bring it up, he says, then go to the gym. Or why do you always bring up about the past whenever you look at me? I still love him and want the best for him, but I hate that he has no remorse or feels sorry for basically stopping me from doing the things I love for the past 1 year and pretends like it's not his fault. Why do I feel this way? What's wrong with me? Is controlling someone normal in a relationship? Is resentment normal? And we have an update. But what do you think?
No.
None of this is
No.
normal.
There are times when you might be upset at a partner or you might have like things that you're annoyed about, but like to resent your partner and for them to control things, to say that you can't do things
Yeah.
or to accuse you of cheating,
Get out of here.
not normal. Accusing your partner of cheating is not normal.
Not at all. Update. Now on to the update. I just want to say thank you so much to every single person who commented and gave me the support to leave the relationship. Yay!
Woo, woo, woo.
Good job.
Doo-doo-doo.
Your kind words and assurance that it's not in my head gave me the confidence to end my 1.5-year-long relationship. I have to admit, it took a while for me to step out of the relationship, and it was not easy at all. A couple of weeks after that post, I, 23 female, was scrolling through my Instagram and saw him, 22 male, liked a reel of a girl showing her before and after as a result from working out and feeling good about her body. If you read my original posts, I used to enjoy going to the gym, and what's funny is that my body before I gained weight was very similar to the after body of this woman. So I don't know what got to me, but it kind of triggered me because he forbids me from going to the gym as he was too afraid someone would flirt with me, and he's uncomfortable that I wear body-hugging sports attire, leggings, to the gym.
Dude, if you have a partner who is telling you what you can or cannot wear to the gym, just in
Or
general,
what you can and
but
cannot
specifically
do.
to the gym, it's like I'm wearing exercise clothing. What do you want me to wear? A suit? Want me to wear a potato sack? A little paper bag over my head?
Call me Dobby.
I was gonna say, Dobby.
Like truly,
Dobby cannot go to the gym.
it's just ridiculous. You want a little doll that you can put in your room and keep there.
Yeah. But he was okay with liking a post of a woman flaunting her body. That woman can flaunt her body all she wants. She was respectfully hot, and I don't care. When I did a little stalking on her account, I noticed that he did not follow her, but had liked a couple of her reels on Instagram. And so I confronted this man by sending him a screenshot of the reels and said nothing. He asked me not to freak out and said it's not what I think and that he only liked the reels because he found it relatable, and he knows her because he has talked to her before, probably at the gym.
Probably at the gym. That's why he doesn't want you to come.
Yeah.
So you don't meet his affair partner.
And initially, I thought it must have been one of his old friends. But somehow my instincts were sensing that something was wrong. So I checked her account, and it was made in August 2024, and checked if any of his friends followed this woman. Guess what? No!
Heads or tails cheating?
Heads.
Well, we'll find out after.
So I asked him again, when did he talk to her? He said it was a couple months ago, didn't specify when. And when I asked him why he didn't tell me about his new friend, FYI, he is always suspicious about my friends, my colleagues, and my cousins, and berates me over very platonic conversations. He said it was because we were not in a good place. He said they met at a powerlifting competition. My ex-boyfriend does heavy weightlifting and occasionally powerlifting as well. But as far as I know, he was not in any competitions this year. And he would not hide it from me because he loves gloating about his little wins at the gym almost every single day. When I asked him to show the chats, he didn't. And then I took a step back and realized he has turned me into a suspicious monster like him. Though my suspicions were right.
Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
I was never this person. I trust my partner enough and never ever had the habit of asking my partner to show their chats and etc. I have never been this insecure in my life, where I keep looking at the girl's profile for hours and compared myself to her, wondering what went wrong when I did everything he asked me to. Honey, it's not you.
It's not you, girl.
It's not you.
Not you.
Yet he still spoke to another girl. God knows what they talk about in secret. And as much as I wanted to ask more and dig more, when did it happen? Why did you start talking? Why didn't you tell me? Do you love her? Do you like her? Did you guys just talk, or did you send pictures too? When we were watching memes on your Instagram together and you stopped showing your screen suddenly, was it because you wanted to hide her messages?
Probably.
What did I do wrong? Was I not enough for you despite doing everything you asked me to? and so many more questions. I realized it was not worth it at all.
Yes.
This man, without his cheating, can I call it cheating because I feel like it, controlled me and forbade me from doing the things I enjoy, like working out and etc., and berated me for doing normal activities that everyone does. Is already bad enough. He was low-key harmful when he hurled bad words at me during our arguments. So I immediately said thank you for everything and Merry Christmas before blocking him.
Thank you and Merry Christmas.
Mary
Happy
Chrysler.
Christmas.
I'm
I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be him. He was always suspicious that I was cheating on him because he was the one doing it. A few days after, it was a little hazy because I was sad and the curiosity of knowing what actually happened really itched me, even now. But I don't think it was worth it because the second he hid something from me, regardless of what happened, it shows that he never respected me enough to let me know. By the way, we always want you to know that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Search up OK Storytime. Got a little bit more.
Well, a little bit more.
What are the thoughts you got
Your
over
hair
there,
looks
Sophia?
red.
Yeah, break up, stay broken up.
Break up
Find
with
a
your
guy
boyfriend.
that appreciates the things that you like to do and doesn't try to control you. And also, don't even focus on finding a guy. Just focus on
living your life.
living your life,
Go back
doing
to the
what you like to do.
Do your
Don't let
happy
anyone tell you that you shouldn't be
things.
doing that.
Yeah.
Breathe there, live life, breathe there.
Somehow
Just
you're going to get there.
Exactly.
And it'll be so wonderful.
So true.
I took a week off from work and went back home during Christmas week, and my mom kept asking me what was wrong. She kept saying I look lost and exhausted like when I was depressed in high school. I don't know why, but I didn't tell her what happened and I just hugged her. Being at home really helped me shift my perspective. I deserve to be loved gently too. Being out of a relationship really questions your self-worth sometimes, and the attachment of being with someone often feels less daunting than the idea of being single. So I vowed to myself not to date anyone at the moment and focus on recovering myself from this. I don't want to bleed my trauma onto anyone who sincerely loves me for me, if there's any, in the future. Wish me luck, everyone. Also, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope 2025 is kinder and more gentle towards us all this year.